Zulu. Deputy Police Minister Kasel Matale says he supports the de-establishment of the Political Killings Task Team by Minister Senzo Mchunu despite its excellent record. Matale was responding to questions from Parliament's ad hoc committee investigating police corruption yesterday. He said that while the team's effectiveness can't be questioned, he does support disbanding it for the right reasons and to ensure police resources are evenly deployed to investigate serious crime like murder and robbery. Babalon Denza reports.
Deputy Minister Kasel Matale says he was surprised when he learned of Senzo Mchunu's decision to disband the task team on social media.
On the social media, that's where I picked it up. And then he then called.
But Matale says he supports the idea of disbanding the task team for the right reasons. He told MPs that he wasn't entirely convinced with the directive from Minister Senzo Mchunu and how he found out after the fact. But he told Patriotic Alliance MP Ashley Sauls that he supports the disbanding, but serious and violent crime investigations must be strengthened.
So what is your reasons for the disbandment?
My reason is you strengthen the capacity to do investigation work around murder and robbery related cases.
Matale concluded his evidence in just one day and is expected to be followed by the NPA's investigating directorate head, Advocate Anthea Johnson, next week. Babalo Ndenze, Eyewitness News, Parliament.
In Pretoria, the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry has heard that the ballistic evidence in the murder case of Vereniging engineer Armand Swart was mishandled. SAPS senior forensic analyst Solomon Modisane disclosed this during his testimony yesterday. It's been 18 months since Swart was killed in what was a case of mistaken identity after his company exposed irregularities in the awarding of a Transnet tender. Modisane says ballistic tests on the guns linked to Swart's murder were conducted at different forensic laboratories, which he describes as highly irregular.
I spoke to Warrant Officer Keita about this case because for me it was like bizarre why this case was examined in Pretoria and examined again in KZN. So he said that the IOs were citing some irregularities in the initial tests conducted by FSL Pretoria.
A Johannesburg father of a slain 4-year-old girl says his former lover, who raped and killed his daughter, cannot use her diagnosed mental disorder as an excuse for her crimes. Eli Chalita was speaking outside the High Court in Johannesburg yesterday following day 2 of sentencing proceedings for his ex-girlfriend Amberly Hughes. Hughes, a former preschool teacher, was found guilty earlier this year for raping and killing the little girl in 2023. Hughes drowned the child in a bathtub in the couple's Glen Vista apartment. She was in a relationship with the child's father, who had left his daughter in her care at the time of the attack. The child's father has dismissed suggestions by a social worker who testified that his former lover's actions were as a result of mental disorders.
According to Google, 22.7% of the entire population on this planet have mental disorder, the disability that they are referring to. But I strongly believe that 22.7% of the world are not children rapers and torturers and murderers.
And Hurricane Melissa has ripped a path of destruction through Jamaica after making landfall as one of the most powerful hurricanes on record. It lashed the island nation with brutal winds and torrential rain before heading towards Cuba. The island has been declared a disaster area, and authorities have warned residents to remain sheltered as the dangerous weather will persist. The scale of Melissa's damage in Jamaica is not yet clear, as a comprehensive assessment could take days with communications networks badly disrupted. Jamaica's Minister of Local Government, Desmond McKenzie, says the damage is severe.
Right across the country, almost every parish is experiencing block road, fallen trees, utility poles, and excess flooding in many communities. Anian Town, Alley, Seven Rivers in St. James are experiencing flooded bridges.
Gold is trading at $3,957.31 an ounce. The rand is at 17.16 to the dollar, 22.75 to the pound, 19.98 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $64.25 a barrel.
There's some delays on the R59 North coming out of the Nelson Mandela Avenue. That's in the Mayorstyle area. While traveling on the Mike 1 North, we already have got some delays between Boysons and the Crown Interchange.
And in your sport, Banyana beat DR Congo 1-0 to qualify for WAFCON. Orlando Pirates beat defending champions Magesi in the Carling Knockout Cup. The Proteas men thrashed Pakistan by 55 runs in the first T20, while the Proteas women play England in the World Cup semi-final at 11 this morning. And Zach Porton to make his Springbok debut against Japan on Saturday.
A cloudy day in store for Gauteng with afternoon thundershowers expected. Johannesburg starting at 14 degrees, peaking at 24. Pretoria 16 and 25. Vereeniging 13 and 24 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour. Deputy Police Minister Kessel Matale says he supports the de-establishment of the political killings task team by Minister Senzo Mchunu despite its excellent record.
EWN, in touch, in tune and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
On 702.
Let's walk the talk.
I want to break into song. I want to say Lisa City Galako Sitonkosi Enyaniso. Because what happened last night? Were you up? Did you hear this moment?
Bona haufinyana le ena moretsana ile ga kena ka rolo ya pele papadi patshepi kgatlano hapa jalo papadi jalo ka re ile ra sheba o ya ka wa tloloa jwalo le ya dipalo ya kena Afrika Borwa hey Epa Morocco.
Guess what that means? Guess what that means? Banyana have qualified for the Africa Cup of Nations. Mutewa, did you watch the game? I know you did.
I watched that.
I know you did.
Moment because I was like, come on, guys, do something. Move.
Do something.
And it was the 90th minute, and I'm just like, yo, I don't want it to even go to things like penalties. Just do the business.
But aren't those the best finishes?
Oh, man, those are the best finishes. And we missed her, in our previous tournament, Tembi Khatlana, and she pulled through.
Boy, oh boy. Boy, oh boy, right? When you're away and you come back, make your presence felt, make it count. Well done, Banyana. Lots to talk about on the show this morning. Welcome one, welcome all. My name is Bongani Bingwa. My colleagues Mutero Kharipe and Amo Ramila are in studio with me. It's the Africa Report, Cameroon meltdown. Big question, why didn't we prosecute all those TRC cases?
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
On 702.
Let's walk the talk.
That's on our menu this morning. We'll dive deep into Cameroon as, of course, another West African country also faces its own troubles. The United States has ordered the evacuation of all its citizens from the West African nation, and they've said anybody who is not in the major cities will not be able to get assistance. And they've said, get out, get out, get out. But today we're taking a deeper dive into Cameroon. Paul Biya, we told you earlier in the week, 92 years old, has been at the helm of Cameroon since 1992. Of course, spends most of his time chilling in Switzerland. And he's been re-elected, and the population are having none of it because, of course, all these elections have been reportedly rigged for a long time. I mean, the chairman of the electoral body that oversaw the election is himself 94 years old. How do you begin to grapple with that? I mean, imagine if P.W. Botha was still the president of South Africa. It just wouldn't fly, would it? And then, of course, we're going to look at the TRC and all of the people that did not get amnesty, all the people that were meant to be prosecuted. What was the deal? If there was one, shouldn't we all have been included? The speculation, of course, is always that the new regime under the ANC struck a deal with the old National Party. You leave us alone, we'll leave you alone. They couldn't quite go after all the perpetrators of those apartheid crimes because the old National Party regime would have been able to say, well, we know what you guys got up to. Remember, some of those people who could have been implicated were now themselves in leadership. And so there was this uneasy truce. Didn't say much to the victims, to the families of the victims of all of those cases. We'll look at that coming up.
You're with Bongani Bingwa.
7:02 weekday mornings, 6 to 9 a.m.
I don't know if anybody watches soap operas anymore. Do you remember soap operas? What are the soap operas that are, big now? I can't think of a single one.
No idea now.
Do you know why? Our very country is a soap opera. The Bold and the Beautiful, you could give me the best Stephanie versus Taylor versus Brooke versus Caroline. Do you remember Caroline? Versus Thorn versus Storm. Gosh. Whoever's writing The Bold and the Beautiful obviously read a lot of Mills and Boon novels with names like that, Brooke, Storm, and Thorn, and Ridge, right? Our politics, our national politics have become something of a soap opera, right? The Deputy Police Minister, Kasel Matale, saying he supports the de-establishment of the Political Killings Task Team as done by his boss, Senzo Mchunu, despite it having an excellent record. I mean, it was just extraordinary yesterday. He couldn't quite explain what motivated it. He hadn't been told. I'm going to play you some clips from that appearance before Parliament's ad hoc committee. That's the one, of course, investigating the alleged infiltration of criminal cartels as far as law enforcement is concerned. Let's start with this one where he says when he heard about the news of the de-establishment of the Political Killings Task Team, he almost dismissed it.
I first dismissed it because it was odd for me to say something like that. And when he confirmed it himself, that he wrote it and we must not be surprised. I didn't understand what could have motivated him to pen such a letter in the manner in which he did.
He later goes on, of course, to say, no, it was a good idea. But his initial reaction was disbelief. In fact, he went so far as to say he'd been blindsided by the minister.
It was very difficult to really put my thoughts together as to what was happening to him to craft the letter in the manner in which he did. And at the time that he did, I don't know what was going through his mind and the circumstances that he was in when he penned the letter. It's of course, he has said so to you here, that he was seated at home and maybe the environment was such that he could apply his mind and pen that letter.
When he was asked if he'd ever questioned what the minister had done, he said, well, I couldn't because, he's the executive authority. It was all right for him to do this. And so then the MPs wanted to know, hang on, hear no evil, see no evil, know no evil. So if you yourself were surprised and you couldn't question or you couldn't even ask what the motivation or the thinking was, what's your job? What do you actually do? The ANC MP, Xola Nqola, asked the Deputy Minister, just give us a sense of your day, man. What does your day involve? Have a listen.
You are right. It will appear like we don't have anything to do. But we do, because the department that we are dealing with is vast, and you need to have your pulse on what is happening with the entities that are there. We have to ensure that the ministry is functional, the department is working, coordination is done. The interaction that we were having of the things that needs to be done gets done. That's why you have policing taking place in the country. The fact that we are not delegated specific responsibilities, it doesn't mean that we don't have things to do. We do.
Do you know what he does from that explanation? Because Xola Nqola says, you get up in the morning, you take a bath, tell me from the moment you leave your home, what does your job entail? What do you do? And that's the answer he gave. But Xola Nqola was not the only MP to have a stab at it. The DA's Glynis Breitenbach also asked the Deputy Minister, tell me about your daily activities. What do you do, man?
We have a monthly program that guides what we do on a daily basis. For next month already I have a draft program. The fact that we are not delegated responsibilities does not mean that we don't have responsibilities that we are dealing with as a ministry. So we do have that.
I'd like to have a little bit more meat on that, please. Like what?
Well, it depends on what I'm supposed to do on a Friday. It can either be things that have to do with the Civilian Secretariat for Police, or IPID, or SIRA, or sometimes various divisions within the police that we are dealing with. Those are the things that one will deal with.
Yeah, ne. I suppose I'll play the last one. The EFF MP, Leanne Mathis, asking, is it Mathis or Mates? Not sure if it's Mathis or Mates. But anyway, she eventually said, look, do we even need you guys? Actually, as deputy ministers, you can't act when the minister is away. You are telling us it's taken him a whole year to even define what role and responsibilities you have. When he does things that surprise you or that seem odd to you, you can't question him. Why do we need deputy ministers?
When you come and account here, you're not accounting as a deputy minister. You're just representing the minister because you don't have a designated. Both deputy ministers don't have that. So essentially, we are saying that also the minister, Kuno, has even failed. It's wasteful expenditure because he's taken over a year just to give responsibilities. And I don't buy that story that he needed an entire year to work out what's happening in the police. That's why we had handover. So he could have even continued on what the previous ministry had done. And as he was moving along, where he saw the gap, he could have changed it. I am so sure, and you'll answer me, Deputy Minister, whether once he assigns a role, it cannot be changed after.
It doesn't mean that because there were no signed off designated powers, we were not given responsibilities to do as the deputy ministers. We did.
Show up, cut the ribbon, kiss the babies, hug old ladies, wave at the crowd. Do you realize we have the suspended police minister, Senzo Mkhunu? He's earning a salary, presumably has some staff and security protecting him. We've got the acting police minister, Professor Kachalia, presumably with his own office and staff and security. We have 2 deputy police ministers. Hey? Make sense.
Let's walk the talk.
702.
It's in that vein then that I want to ask you this question. Can you really explain your job? Even if you're a lawyer and you think people know what that means, do they? If you're a doctor and you think people know what that means, do they really? What are those things that people misunderstand and you find difficult to explain about what you do? For example, people think that, I just show up at 6 o'clock and start talking. Or they think at 9 o'clock, the rest of my day is for me to do as I wish, as I like. Wouldn't it be lovely? Right? Yes, I'm a presenter at 702. But I think I'm so much more than that, right? And it's sometimes just a little tricky to explain. Amo, when you fill those forms, career, job description, what do you say and how do you explain what you do?
I mean, on paper, it's not so difficult to explain because I don't have to explain in depth as to what I do.
Okay, but people you grew up with from your guys, do they really understand what you do?
No one really understands what I do because people have marveled at the fact that when you are a traffic anchor compiler, you have to know how to read the map. So it's not about just coming on air and you have a full report ready from Fisa or somewhere or Sunroll. No, you have to see what's happening on the roads. You have to know the direction of the road. You have to know the areas, right? Because also people will give you a report saying there's an accident on the N1 North when they in fact mean the Mike 1 North.
And you've got to be clear about the difference.
You've got to be clear about the difference.
Matewa, how do you explain your job? And do people really understand what it is you do?
I don't think people understand what I do.
So how do you explain it?
They probably think I just like looking into other people's pockets.
So how do you explain it? What do you do?
The one time I explained it, I said, I explain how money moves.
Ah, love that. I love that. I explain how money moves. Can I say then I explain how the country or the world moves? Could I say that?
Have a bash at it, I don't know.
We'll take your voice notes on 072-702-1702. How do you explain what you do? Kassel Matale can't explain his job, can you?
Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702. Let's walk the talk.
20 after 6, Mateo Kharipa, you've got a question of your own?
Yeah, I want to know from you and 702 landers, what don't you mind buying secondhand and what do you absolutely have to have brand new?
Ooh, I think I'd struggle with a second-hand car just for the idea that I don't know what to do if anything goes wrong.
You don't want to be dealing with...
And I've had second-hand cars, by the way. So I've lived, and I don't remember any second-hand car ever being faithful to me.
Yeah.
And not just one, not
You've
just
lived
two.
through the trauma.
I'm a 51-year-old man, and I got to a point in my life where I said, never,
not doing that again.
Never again shall it be. Amo?
For me, it's books. I don't mind secondhand or pre-loved books.
Yeah, okay.
Absolutely don't mind that. But I wouldn't buy my kids pre-loved clothes. So I wouldn't spend my money on pre-loved clothes.
But cousins
But
can
I would
give.
take hand-me-downs. Yes.
Okay. I wonder what prompts that question.
702.
Weather.
A cloudy day in store for Gauteng. Afternoon showers expected. Temperatures peaking a little lower today. Joburg and V-Town, 24 degrees. That's for Eniging. Pretoria, 25. Cape Town, 23. Durban, 25. Kimberley, 28 degrees. And Gaza and East London, 22.
EWN Traffic.
22 after 6, this EWN Traffic is brought to you by Outsurance. SMS out to 45142 now. And you could save on your car insurance. If you don't, ask them for 500 Rand. Amo?
Well, Bongani, we've got some delays already on the Mamelodi North. This is between Boysons Road and the Crown Interchange, peak time delays. While traveling on the N1 South in the Midrand area, we've got a car stuck on the road. It's on the N1 South right near New Road. Delays from Olifantsfontein Road. And do expect heavy traffic volumes along the R21 North in the Tembisa area due to those roadworks that are taking place already after Olifantsfontein Road. I am seeing delays here, so please be on the lookout there. More updates coming up, but if you see anything else, we're on X at EWN Traffic.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
55-year-old Stefan isn't one to waste money, and his car insurance premium with Outsurance proves it. For his 2024 Suzuki Jimny, he now pays only 611 Rand a month. And Outsurance made 57-year-old Sabina feel like a winner in her 2024 Mercedes-Benz GLA with a low premium of only 1,276 Rand a month. Ready to get more out of your car insurance? SMS out to 45142 today. So that's out to 45142. Outsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP. T's, C's, and information online.
Part of the 702 family.
My name is Franz Gate. I've been in Johannesburg since 2004, and I accidentally got onto 702 listening to John Robbie because I'm a mad sports fan, but I cannot believe the quality of broadcasting that 702 has played in my life. It's added so much value to my curious nature, and 702 ticks all my boxes.
Welcome to our 702 family. Let's walk the talk.
Hey Queens, listen up. It's time for the 5th annual Nomzamo Lighthouse Foundation Empowering Her Seminar and Business Awards. Proudly powered by the Hollywood Foundation, and we're calling on your entries. From township startups to industry-defining pioneers, the Empowering Her Awards celebrate the very best of SA's business minds, and now it's your turn to shine. Are you a woman who's passionate and committed to building a business that's changing your community? Are you looking to inspire other women just like you to dream beyond their limits? Well, this is just the right avenue for you. Visit www.hollywoodfoundation.co.za to submit your entry before 31 October 2025 and make the world your stage. T's and C's apply.
You are not dreaming. You are repeating. Insurance, pineapple. Insurance, pineapple. Insurance, pineapple. Insurance, pineapple. Pineapple FSP 48650 is underwritten by Omart Insure Limited, a licensed non-life insurer and authorized FSP.
If this ad caught your ear, imagine what Prime Media can do for your business. With South Africa's leading media company, your message reaches the right audiences across radio, digital audio, video, and display. The Prime Impact Sales event is coming to Joburg 3 to 7 November and Cape Town 10 to 13 November. Register today for a free demo commercial, a custom campaign, and unbeatable annual partnerships. Seats are limited. Secure yours now at primeimpact.co.za.
It's happening right now. Swiper by Absa Rewards and 702 could make you win big. All you have to do is shout "swiped" and lock in up to 25,000 Rand cash. And if you're an active Absa Rewards member, you'll win a 5,000 Rand bonus and go into the draw for a brand new JQ J5 Vortex plus 3 months of premium car insurance from Absa Insurance. Send hashtag Absa Swiper Rewards to 067 384 0022 and 702 Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa could call you next. Your story matters. Absa. Absa is an authorized FSP and a registered credit provider. T's and C's available at primemediaplus.com.
Start your day with Bongani Bingwa
On 702. Let's walk the talk.
Things you need to know at this hour. City Power says it loses about 25 million Rand a month to theft and vandalism. Joburg residents are stepping up now to try and protect power lines and infrastructure. And I wonder how much you get involved in terms of your neighborhood. Are you part of efforts to look out for each other? Do you think that people who try to do that are nosy neighbors? And what's that one way, that one small way ordinary folk can do to try and help protect infrastructure? Yesterday, the Whistleblower Summit and Awards were held in Johannesburg, celebrating individuals and organizations championing integrity, accountability, and transparency. The former Chief Justice Raymond Zondo was a speaker there, and he urged government to implement his commission's recommendations. Have you had to defend yourself against false allegations? Yesterday, it was quite a sad day in Paris in a court as Brigitte Macron's daughter told the court that false online claims suggesting that the French First Lady was born a man have severely harmed her mother's mental health and daily life. It really is quite an unbelievable one. More details with Adam Gilchrist later. And a Tunisian startup, Bako Motors, is going to drive Africa's EV revolution. They're using solar-powered compact cars and vans, and they want to expand production to about 8,000 vehicles by next year. And so they want to make affordable solar-driven transport a reality. And on this day in 1983, Dolly Parton and Kenny Rogers topped the Billboard Hot 100 with one of those instantly recognizable songs, right?
Baby, when I met you, there was peace unknown. I set out to get you with a fine-tooth comb. I was soft inside. There was something going on. You do something to me that I can't explain. Hold me closer and I feel no pain.
Oh, man. Written and co-produced by Barry Gibb of the Bee Gees, Islands in the Stream. It's just one of those iconic duets. Number one on this day in 1983.
702.
The newspapers.
It's one of those songs that you definitely would have heard
growing
even
up,
later
anyway,
in your
yeah.
childhood. Hey,
yeah,
Sisa
absolutely,
Zulu?
absolutely. It was played everywhere.
All right, what songs are in the papers?
Well, the Oklahoman, which is a newspaper out in the U.S. state of Oklahoma, is looking at something that's very important and close to my heart, youth development. So they are improving youth centers, and some people with money had banded together, and they are building a youth center with $14 million. That's about 240 million South African rands. And they're saying that 54% of people who attended youth centers say that their lives have been saved from gangs, drugs, and juvenile justice system by just being part of a youth center. Do we still have youth centers in South Africa? I grew up in a community where we had recreational activities, sports, arts. There were adults who volunteered their time to teach young people all these activities, and it kept us from the streets and from bad things. So I wonder if we still have people dedicated to doing that. So that's the Oklahoman out in Oklahoma.
All right. Funny you should ask. The front page of The Citizen has a picture of an empty field with a deep hole, and it says this 20 million rand hole is the tip of the iceberg. A community center in Sebokeng remains a vacant lot after many attempts and many millions, of course, flushed down the drain. The front page of the Business Day, taxes for NHI are years away. Parliament told raising new taxes will only start in 2033. So how would it be funded in the interim? The front page of the Sowetan, 310 million rand. An incomplete rank gets yet another 46 million rand as the province of Limpopo pumps more cash into the project after millions already spent on repairs.
EWN Business.
Mattel, you want to know if we mind second-hand goods or pre-loved goods? What will we buy second-hand? What won't we buy second-hand? What prompts the question?
Well, Bongani, you might not be their target market, but the sellers of pre-loved vehicles, We Buy Cars, says second-hand cars are bringing in the big bucks. The company says it expects to rake in close to R1 billion in earnings at 929 million. We Buy Cars experienced increased volumes and selling prices, contributing to improved earnings at the company. Second-hand vehicles make up more than 70% of car registrations in South Africa currently as consumers manage the high cost of living. So on average, We Buy Cars sells around 15,000 vehicles a month. Now, between October of 2024 and March of 2025, the company's operating margin was stable at 5.5%. So operating margin provides a clear view of how much profit a company makes from its primary activities such as selling products and services, while also detailing how it manages expenses. Now, on average, that 5.5%, if they're selling a 200,000 rand car, it's 11,200.
Oh,
they
wow.
sold 91,000 cars in that 6 months. So do the maths.
Baila. Move. See how that money moves, eh? Okay, where's the rand moving?
17 rand 16 cents against the US dollar, in a very, very good position this morning. 19 rand 97 cents against the euro. And at 22 rand 72 cents against the British pound. Price of gold going up a little bit at $3,962 an ounce, while platinum is at $1,576. Brent crude now at $64.35 a barrel. More business after 7.
As the world moves, Fiso Zulu, let's go straight to you now at the news desk. What you got?
Thanks, Bongani. Good morning. The DA in Gauteng is urging parties in the legislature to consider its motion of no confidence in Premier Panyaza Lesufi on its merits and not petty politics. The party wants Lesufi removed following a damning public protector's report, which found the provincial government established the crime prevention wardens with no legal mandates. The motion to pass the DA, or for the motion to pass the DA, needs support from parties outside the governing coalition. But the MK party has said that it will not work with the DA, while Action SA and EFF had demanded apologies as a prerequisite to engage with them. The DA's Jack Bloom.
The party, they must consider the motion on its merits. If they feel that Premier Panyaza Lesufi, despite flagrant illegalities and incompetence and corruption, deserves their support, well, then they must vote against it. And if they think he needs to be removed, well, then they must vote for it. It's as simple as that.
Civil rights organization Action Society has slammed alleged baby snatcher Sima Jacobs for using delay tactics in a kidnapping case being heard in the Bellville Magistrates Court. Jacobs allegedly abducted the newborn baby from his mother at a mall earlier this year while pretending to be a volunteer from an NPO. The accused made a brief appearance in court yesterday after presenting her lawyer with a request to have her bail conditions amended. Carlo Peterson reports.
Kidnapping accused Samima Jacobs' legal aid lawyer told the court she was not ready to proceed with an application for a client's bail conditions to be amended. Jacobs was granted bail with strict conditions to stay out of Mitchell's Plain, where baby Imad and his mother Iman Shamar reside. 3 weeks ago, Jacobs made a request for bail conditions to be amended. Action Society's Kaylin Palm believes the defense had enough time to prepare the application.
This is just another delay tactic, which is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, the family needs to get some sort of closure regarding this case. So for us as Action Society, we're disappointed yet again.
The matter was postponed to the 6th of November to give Jacobs' lawyer more time to submit the application. Carlo Peterson, Eyewitness News.
The South African Police Union has recorded 54 deaths of officers related to mental health. SAPU says this year fatalities were less compared to last year, but predicts the number will rise as the financial year comes to a close. The union says officers who use psychological support services often face stigma because their colleagues allegedly are privy to the information. SAPU President Mpho Kwinika says if resources are available within, officers should use them or search for them outside.
We need to be proactive in nature. And you will see that government is giving 5% currently towards mental health. The standard set by World Health Organization should be between 10 and 15%. They need to employ more resources in that field so that our members get the best out of that department.
And the Israeli military has killed at least 20 Palestinians in attacks across Gaza. It happened after Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu ordered powerful strikes following an exchange of gunfire in southern Rafah, during which one Israeli soldier was wounded. Israeli Defense Minister Israel Katz has accused Palestinian armed group Hamas of attacking Israeli soldiers yesterday and breaching the terms of returning the bodies to deceased hostages. The attacks mark the most significant flare-up in violence since a ceasefire brokered by U.S. President Donald Trump came into effect earlier this year. Hamas claims that it had no connection to the attack, insisting it is committed to the ceasefire deal. Meanwhile, U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance insists that the truce is still holding despite the attacks and the claims of violations by both sides. A cloudy day in store for Gauteng with showers expected today. Temperatures are at lows of 13 and 16 degrees. They'll peak at highs between 24 and 25.
And in the traffic in Rivoli, there's been an accident on Nasrec Road. It's right near Main Reef Road. It's causing heavy delays. Please be on the lookout there while traveling in Marestar. We've got delays on the R59 North. This is between Swartkopjes Road and Nelson Mandela Avenue.
The top story this hour, the DA in Gauteng is urging parties in the legislature to consider its motion of no confidence in Lesotho on merits and not on petty politics.
You could spend 10 minutes waiting for the microwave to beep, or get a 10-minute quote from Outsurance that could save you thousands on your car insurance. For his 2024 Suzuki Jimny, 55-year-old Stefan now pays only 611 Rand a month. And for her 2024 Kia Sonet, 31-year-old Balisa pays just 926 Rand a month. Ready to get more out of your car insurance? SMS out to 45142. That's out to 45142. Outsurance, licensed insurer and FSP. TCs and information online.
On the N17 Tonk meter section in the city of Ekurhuleni, important resurfacing work is underway. Over 30 kilometers of road is being repaired using sustainable techniques, making the road better and longer lasting. This project is already creating jobs with more than 80 local workers employed and millions set aside for small businesses. Please obey signs and speed limits in construction zones. Completion by November 2026. Together, we are building better journeys. Sunrail, an agency of the Department of Transport.
In a world where safety matters, you deserve protection you can trust. CIRA regulates South Africa's private security industry, ensuring only trained and qualified providers serve the public. From bodyguards and assets in transit to electronic security, investigations, event safety, locksmiths, and guarding. Every service must meet the highest standards. CIRA, protecting you and those who protect you.
Sometimes the clearest view comes from those who face the darkest storm. So today on the afternoon drive with John Perlman, we're going to hear about how breast cancer survivor and head of outreach at Holy Rosary School, Yvette Bibis, is using her story to shine a light on the importance of access to reading glasses and how the Discam Foundation is helping share that message far and wide. That's today on the afternoon drive with John Perlman. Remember, every swipe of your Discam Better Rewards card supports this and other inspiring community stories. The Discam Foundation, caring for the community. Every swipe counts on 702.
702.
WhatsApp Bongani on 072
702 1702.
Good morning, Bongani. Bongani, you remember the Deputy Minister, Kasel Matale? You remember he's the former Limpopo Premier, where he banned money when he was going to be rated by the Hawks, the former Scorpions. So he can support the dismantle of the police, the the killing of the politicians, political killings, because he's one of the corrupt people. He banned the money there. You remember that story, Bongani? So I'm not surprised when he say he supported this dismantle of the political killing. It's also corrupt. He's a former corrupt premier of Limpopo.
Bongani, politicians are going to walk all over us until we, the people, remove all of their privileges. And I think as a public, we need to institute some kind of a cap on profit margins for businesses, because profit margins have never been higher, but salaries have never been lower, and it doesn't make any sense, and it's not fair. Thanks.
Hi, good morning, Bongani and the team. Sam from Johannesburg. I can't believe that this man, Castle Matale, was a premier of Limpopo. That is why Limpopo was nearly collapsed, because he knows nothing. What he was answering yesterday at the parliament, it was like he didn't even know what to say. He was caught off guard. He was exposed. Thanks, Sam from Joburg.
Hear no evil, see no evil, understand no evil. His basic answer was angaz, 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 angaz. I mean, he tried to make an argument. Can you imagine? This is something you would say as a reasonable person, that your boss was new in the job, as were you, by the way. Your boss has been so new at the job, it's taken him nearly a year to assign you specific responsibilities. But it doesn't mean you have nothing to do. He just hasn't figured out what it is you're supposed to be doing. A whole year. That's an explanation. Somebody who wants to be taken seriously offers the country.
Morning, Bongles and the team. One thing I would not mind buying as pre-loved or second-hand is a car. I don't mind buying a second-hand car because my husband's got me. But I'd never buy a second-hand bed or a couch because yuck.
EWN.
Wait a minute. You sleep in hotels, don't you? Don't you? You sit in couches in receptions in waiting areas, your friends' homes, don't you? We're talking about what would you buy, what do you have to buy brand new, Cindy, and what would you buy second-hand, pre-loved, as they say.
I don't mind little like home decor.
Yeah.
Secondhand,
Yeah.
right? So pot plants. What else have I bought secondhand? Shelves. Stuff that you can use in your house that you really,
Practical
really
stuff, garden tools, that kind of thing.
Stuff, that you know. There's a real trend at the moment, and I've noticed it. It's home decor changes all the time. It's seasonal, right?
Yes.
There's no way anybody can afford seasonal home decor.
Every season, every year, every trend.
We can't even keep up with the wardrobes, right? So there are some of those seasonal pieces that I'll look for on maybe like a Facebook marketplace, but I won't necessarily splash out on brand new stuff. Won't necessarily get it, but it's what you look for, especially with teenagers when the taste is changing all the time within a couple of years.
Listen, nothing second-hand about that fantastic last-minute goal, right, for Banyana last night.
Absolutely. And they've qualified for next year's WAFCON after beating DR Congo 1-0. Thembi Kgatlana with that goal for a 2-1 aggregate win, with Desiree Ellis's contract negotiations still not finalized. Here's stand-in coach Tina Mbuli.
I said to you yesterday, we have to win. And yes, we were frustrated towards the end of the game because it was 0-0 and they were really coming at us. And one mistake we conceded and then we're out. That's why I'm giving credit to the defenders for absorbing the pressure. And then one chance, I think maybe that's why we kept her in the game, because we knew that if she gets one more chance, she'll score. So a win today was important.
The defending champions Bagesi are out of the Carling Cup after losing to Orlando Pirates 2-1. Maremi and Makgopa with the goals in the second half. Pirates coach Abdeslam Wadu.
We managed to have a lot of chances. I think at the halftime we could have lead with 5 goals. It's a positive point, so I'd like to congratulate my boys for that. It was important to take this victory and to go through the next stage, things that we have done.
Tonight, Maramagulan plays Stellenbosch. The Proteas men thrashed Pakistan by 55 runs in the first T20. The Proteas posted 194 for 9. Hendricks with 60. Player of the match, Corbin Bosch, made 36 from 22 and took 4 wickets. Captain Donovan Ferreira.
Very proud of the team effort over there. I think it was a collective effort. We started really well in the power play with the bat and then finished off innings really well with George Linder striking the ball nicely at the end there, and then really kept it simple with the ball, just trying to hit top of off. Saw what they were doing and what was working on the wicket.
Live action. New Zealand are 8 for 1 after 5.1 overs, chasing 176 to beat England in the second ODI. Earlier, Overton top scored a 42. Tickner took 4 wickets. New Zealand lead the series 1-0. Huge game for the Proteas women today. They're playing England in the semi-final of the Cricket World Cup. Captain Laura Wolfart.
I think we've had a great tournament so far. I think as a group, we're really just trying to focus on the positives and sticking to our game plans and doing what we do best. I think if we just keep playing the way that we have, we'll have a really good shot at winning tomorrow. I think we want to win tomorrow, so do they. It's a semi-final, anything can happen. So I think that if we just play our best cricket, it'll be a really good game of cricket.
It starts at 11 a.m. Springbok coach Rassie Erasmus' team to take on Japan at Wembley on Saturday has Zach Porton making his debut. He's in the front row with Markson and chair Coach Erasmus.
There was one of two ways going. Thomas Tutoe is not available for this game purely because of the Premiership rulings and rest periods and so on. So Thomas...
That he irons his dishcloth. A small, random, casual poll was put up on Twitter by Cindy Paluta, his sports anchor. And the results are in 24 hours later.
Overwhelming. Majority agrees with me.
Agrees that we do not iron our dishcloths. 90% of you have logic. 10% of you are questionable. Cindy Paluta, Eyewitness News Sport.
Hi. I need balloons.
Sure.
Now, my dog barked. Pretty sure he said potty.
Okay.
He was like...
At the Crazy Store, you'll find every excuse to celebrate.
Hi, me again. My houseplant survived another week. Where's your confetti?
And everything you need. Helium, gift wrap, dress up, and more. The Crazy Store. Hey, you never know what you might find. To have a good party.
Don't just hear the roar, feel it. DP World Lions unleashing their legacy of champions. In the explosive T20 challenge, the pride of Josie, the Lions are ready to pounce on Boland, their season opener at the DP Wanderers Stadium. Sunday, 2nd November at 2 p.m. Feel the thrill of smashing sixes, stunning catches, nail-biting finishes. Get your tickets today at Ticket Pro, or you can visit the DP World Wanderers World Lions website. So that's the DP World Lions website. Don't miss the action. Be part of the legacy.
Naked people smell expensive because naked people spend less money on insurance premiums and more money on fancy French colognes with names they can't pronounce. With Naked, you can cover your car, home, and stuff in seconds. And because it's all online, it also costs less. Go to naked.insure now, get a car insurance quote in 90 seconds, and start smelling like naked people. Naked Financial Technology is an authorized FSP. Get naked.
The Brainy Kids of the Whiz Quiz.
On 702.
Hello, Uncle Bongani. My name is Letabo and I'm 10 years old. I attend the King's School restaurant and I would like to be a commercial lawyer when I grow up. I can't wait to play.
A commercial lawyer when you grow up. Now there's an ambition, Letabo. We can't wait to play with you too.
EWN Traffic.
I'm on 12 to 7. What are you seeing on the roads?
Well, Bongani, we've got an accident along Nasrec Road. This is in the Rivoli area, just before Main Reef Road. It is causing some delays there. Please be on the lookout while traveling on the Mike 1 North bumper-to-bumper traffic between Boysons and Carr Street. There's also queuing traffic on the M2 West. In fact, an accident reported right near the Crown turn-off, delays coming out of Heidelberg Road. So please be on the lookout there and be patient on the roads. I'll have more updates for you. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app. 702.
Coming up at 7:15, the big interview.
What you're hearing isn't a traffic accident. It's not panic braking. It's our amazing car-stopping 40th birthday deals. For a limited time only, Auto & General is offering great savings with our 40th birthday Ruby deals. Celebrate with us by visiting autogen.co.za for great personal and business car insurance savings. Auto & General, never not there. Auto & General is a licensed non-life insurer and FSP. T's and C's online. Offer available for a limited time only.
Cheat on your barber with a Market Theatre this November with no regrets. experience the African premiere of Inua Ilam's international hit play, Barber Shop Chronicles. An exceptional cast takes you inside the barber shops of 5 African cities in London, where men gather for connection, debate, laughter, and therapy. Cutting-edge storytelling, razor-sharp drama, neatly trimmed movement and song. Don't miss Barbershop Chronicles, directed by Sbusiso Mamba. Visit markettheatre.co.za to buy your tickets.
Here's the thing about running a business. It needs constant connection with reliable communication between you, your staff, and customers. That's why the right partnership matters. Get Cloud PABX from Telkom Business, a unified communication solution that makes connecting easy from just 161 rands per month.
This summer, your business deserves the best. Visit telkom.co.za/business for deals that keep your business online all the time. T's and C's apply. Telkom Business. Possible begins here.
Time. When you're a kid, it moves slower than a sloth trying to get through airport security. There is just so much of it. Skip forward a few years to your 20s. Time is still your friend. It says have some balance. Go party and have fun. Then your 30s hit. And time suddenly steps on the accelerator like it's trying to catch a traffic light before it goes red. 40s. Now time is moving faster than your 10-year-old on a sugar high. 50. You're desperately trying to save as much as you can, but time is moving so fast. And all you can think is, where did all the time go? That's why after 50 years of investing, we've learned that time is the greatest gift of all. And the good news is, if you invest early, time gives you money. And then money gives you more time for some much-deserved you time. Now, isn't that a compelling enough reason to invest? Ellen Gray. Long-term investing. Ellen Gray is an authorized FSP.
Hey travelers, it's time to turn November into Yesvember with Fly Safair. There are 2 new routes between Lanseria and PE, as well as Lanseria and East London, start from 1 November, and they're celebrating with a sale. Get 30% off all flights on Lanseria, PE and Lanseria East London routes for travel throughout November. Sale ends at midnight, so don't wait. Say yes to your next Joburg or Eastern Cape escape. Book now at flysafair.co.za. Fly Safair, for the love of flying. T's and C's apply.
Huawei Watch GT6 Series, 2025's must-have smartwatch, introducing the king of power. Up to 21 days of unstoppable battery life in a sleek titanium and ceramic design that's as strong as it's stylish. The Trackmaster with 24/7 heart rate tracking, sleep monitoring, advanced health management, and the world's first cycling virtual power feature. Fully compatible with both iOS and Android. Get yours now from just 169 Rand a month over 36 months or 4,999 Rand at selected retailers. T's and C's apply.
Coming up in the next hour, What's the Question? Brought to you by Outsurance. 3,000 Rand in cash is up for grabs. You send us an answer to 072 702 1702. You'll win 1,000 Rand. Later, someone asks a question to win 2,000 Rand. SMS out to 45142 now. You could save on your car insurance.
Who is the whizziest of them all?
It's the Whiz Quiz on 702.
Up next, Cameroon aflame in the Africa Report. What next for that country? In the meantime, let's give away some cash in the Whiz Quiz. Letabo is 10 years old and wants to be a commercial lawyer later on in life. Letabo, shall we play the Whiz Quiz?
Yes.
KG, start the clock. What is 5 times 5?
25.
Correct. Spell the word splash.
SPLASH.
Correct. Complete the saying, Rome was not built in one what?
Country.
Day. How many A's are there in the word abandon?
2.
Correct. Which American city is nicknamed the City of Angels, or LA?
Los Angeles.
Correct.
Los Angeles.
Correct. Does the word ball mean to laugh or to cry?
To cry.
Correct. True or false? Africa's tallest mountain is in the southern hemisphere.
False.
It's true. Which one is a martial art? Judo or rowing?
Judo.
Correct. Frogs and toads begin life as what? Beginning with T.
Together.
As tadpoles. As tadpoles. Yes, indeed. Africa's tallest mountain is Kilimanjaro, which of course is below the equator. That makes it the southern hemisphere. Letabo, well played. You know how it works. 10 questions, 10 answers. You get 10,000 Rand if you get everything correct. Otherwise, $100 for each correct answer.
The Brainy Kids of the Whiz Quiz
on 702.
702.
The Africa Report.
For days now, we've been telling you about Africa's oldest ruler, Paul Biya, who's been in power after more than 4 decades. He's 92 years old and has been declared the winner of yet another election. But many in the country are saying the vote was rigged and the country is not only on edge, it's been in flames. At least 6 are dead, dozens more arrested, soldiers patrolling the streets. Protests are spreading. We've seen burning and looting of property. And the EU is warning the unrest could fuel Cameroon's long-running Anglophone separatist conflict. To explain it all to us, we've invited an expert on the region, Dr. Pippi Hughes, joining us, policy analyst with the Cameroonian think tank, Nkafu Policy Institute. Dr. Hughes, appreciate your time. Welcome to 702 Breakfast. I suppose let's ask for you to tell us what the latest you are hearing from inside Cameroon right now. What's the situation?
Thank you very much, and good morning, Bongani, for having me. Cameroon, October 12th was election day. October 27th was the day that the Constitutional Council proclaimed the result, giving President Biya another 7-year term in office, making it 8th term in office. The results have been welcomed with mixed feelings. We have celebrations, few celebrations from some government officials, some party militants, but yet a cross-section of the population took to the street in protest, saying that the results proclaimed by the Constitutional Council does not reflect the will of the people, does not reflect the ballot boxes on October 12th.
What's the latest right now? We saw scenes on television yesterday of protesters out in their numbers in the streets. We saw some attacks on infrastructure. As I said in my introduction, at least 6 people confirmed dead. What's the latest you've heard?
The latest, as of today, 29th, is that the protests are still ongoing. We have protests in major cities, in Garoua, in Bafoussam, in Betwa, and in Douala. The protest in Douala is one of those protests that have really drawn the attention of the international communities because our properties have been burned in Maroua. The CPDM secretariat have been burned. The DOS office has been burned. The court has been attacked. You know, once the protesters have any idea or any information that this particular institution or infrastructure is an accomplice to what they consider to be election theft, fortified result, they attack. And the death tolls keep on increasing. The military has taken up patrolling the city in these major towns to ensure that the destruction does not go out of hand. But the population are on the street, you know, demonstrating, calling on the international community to step in to ensure that the will of the people is respected. Yesterday, we saw the outing of candidate Issa Chiroma Bakari, who also came out to call on the international community that this is the time for them to step in. It is appalling. There is gross violation of human rights. When citizens engage in peaceful protests, the police is supposed to accompany them, not to engage in firing live bullets.
I talked about the long-standing tensions between Francophone Cameroon and Anglophone Cameroon. Could this finally be that tension point that splits the country apart?
Many analysts have seen this as a medium. You know, the Anglophone problem, which started in 2016, was limited just to the Anglophone regions, the Northwest and the Southwest. But as of now, this is no longer an Anglophone issue. It is a national issue because the Francophones have also got involved. If you look at what is happening in the up north, people are even speculating that if things don't go well, the Grand North are going to call themselves the Sahel, we come down to the west, Littoral, which was a safe haven for most that were running away from the Anglophone crisis, has also become unsafe. So the tension keeps rising. And what many stakeholders are calling for is that the incumbent, His Excellency President Paul Biya, this is the time for him, to come out and make a statement. He has been silent since after Election Day on October 12th, that people saw him, he disappeared, and even after the results were proclaimed, he's yet to appear to make a statement. Rather, we see a tweet which he sent. So the population is calling that is the time for the statesman. He has been in power for 43 years. I think he has always advocated for peace. It is time for him to come out, and call his citizens to order.
Wonder if he's even in the country. Appreciate your time, Dr. Hughes. They're giving us the latest goings on in Cameroon. It was interesting to see the Constitutional Council's chair, who himself is 94 years old, barely able to walk as he was announcing that result yesterday. We'll keep an eye on that story.
702.
Coming up, the big interview.
Nearly 30 years later, after the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, why are so many victims and their families still waiting for answers? Was there a deal?
This is EWN.
The Mamelodi double murder accused is due in court today, and the Matlanga Commission continues with witnesses expected to divulge more about KT Molefe. Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. A 38-year-old suspect is expected to make his first appearance in the Mamelodi Magistrates Court this morning in connection with the murder of two women. Ballistic and Siamo Moramacha were shot on Sunday morning after a night out. Their bodies were discovered on the side of the road by their neighbors. Modise reports.
It's alleged by the Moramacha family and community members that the man who's been arrested was romantically involved with 22-year-old Siamo. When the news of the women's brutal murder spread on Sunday, his house, which is just 2 streets from where the women lived, was set alight, allegedly by community members. The man will appear in the Mamelodi Magistrates Court this morning on 2 counts of murder. The women's aunt, Maki Moramacha, says she does not want to see him in court.
I don't think I ever want to see him, and I don't think I could ever forgive him. We will forgive each other in heaven.
The suspect is also accused of attempted murder after he allegedly shot a 3rd victim who's recovering in hospital. Modise, Eyewitness News in Mamelodi.
The Matlanga Commission of Inquiry will now turn its focus on the arrest of alleged criminal Katiso KT Molefe, who is accused of orchestrating DJ Sambodi's murder. Molefe allegedly ordered a hit on the DJ in 2022 in Sandton. The Commission has, over the past 2 days, heard testimony from ballistic experts who were deployed to the political killings task team. They've revealed that the murder weapon used to kill DJ Sambodi was linked to 29 other criminal cases. Alfara Mushwana has more.
Katiso KT Molefe was first arrested in December last year in connection with the murder of Vereniging engineer Armin Swart. Swart's company had exposed irregularities in a Transnet tender that was allegedly awarded to a firm linked to Molefe's nephew through corrupt dealings. Molefe was arrested again in July this year for his alleged role in orchestrating the assassination of DJ Sambodi. Senior forensic analyst at the South African Police Service, Captain Solomon Mudisane, told the Matlanga Commission yesterday that the firearms used in DJ Sambodi's killing were also linked to several other high-profile murders.
This specific firearm that I'm referring to is a 7.62 by 39 millimeter caliber Russian Kalashnikov model AK-47 full automatic assault rifle.
New witnesses are expected to testify this morning. Alfa Ramshwana, Eyewitness News.
In Parliament, Deputy Police Minister Kassel Matale says he supports the establishment of the political killings task team by Minister Sinzo Mchunu despite its excellent record. Matale was responding to questions from Parliament's ad hoc committee investigating police corruption yesterday. He said that while the team's effectiveness can't be questioned, he does support disbanding it for the right reasons and to ensure police resources are evenly deployed to investigate serious crimes like murder murder and robbery. Babalondenza reports.
Deputy Minister Castle Matale says he was surprised when he learned of Senzo Mkunu's decision to disband the task team on social media.
On the social media, that's where I picked it up. And then he then called.
But Matale says he supports the idea of disbanding the task team for the right reasons. He told MPs that he wasn't entirely convinced with the directive from Minister Senzo Mkunu and how he found out after the fact. But he told Patriotic Alliance MP Ashley Sauls that he supports the disbanding, but serious and violent crime investigations must be strengthened.
So what is your reasons for the disbandment?
My reason is you strengthen the capacity to do investigation work around murder and robbery related cases.
Matale concluded his evidence in just one day and is expected to be followed by the NPA's investigating directorate head, Advocate Anthea Johnson, next week. Babalondenza, Eyewitness News, Parliament.
And Hurricane Melissa is heading towards Cuba after crossing Jamaica as the strongest storm to ever hit the Caribbean nation in modern history. The storm has re-strengthened to a Category 4 hurricane, prompting evacuations in Cuba. More rain is expected in some parts of Jamaica, with areas experiencing flash flooding. Melissa is responsible for 7 deaths, 3 in Jamaica during storm preparations yesterday, 3 in Haiti, and 1 in the Dominican Republic. Michael Brennan is the director of U.S. National Hurricane Center, who's tracking the storm.
We're seeing tropical storm conditions spread across southeastern Cuba now. We can see that the center of Melissa expected to make landfall somewhere along the southeastern coast of Cuba in the early morning hours of Wednesday as a powerful major hurricane. So expecting widespread destructive winds near the core of Melissa as it moves across southeastern Cuba.
Gold is trading at $3,957.78 an ounce. The rand is at 17.15 to the dollar, 22.73 to the pound, 19.95 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $64.31 a barrel.
And in the traffic, we've got delays in Boksburg along the N17. This is between Carnival City entrance and the R21 Rondebold Road. Roadworks are taking place along this route and they are causing heavy delays. Please be on the lookout there. If you're heading towards areas like Germiston as well as Bedford View, please try to use the N12 West instead. If you are traveling on the N3 North, more roadworks are causing delays between Marlborough Drive and the Buccleuch interchange. Please be on the lookout there.
And in your sport, the Proteas women face England in the Cricket World Cup semi-final from 11 this morning. Last night, the men beat Pakistan by 55 runs in the first T20. Banyana's qualified for WAFCON after beating DR Congo 1-0. Orlando Pirates knocked Magesi out of the Carling Cup, and upset at the Paris Masters tennis as the world number 1 Alcaraz was beaten by Norrie.
A cloudy day in store for Gauteng with afternoon thunder showers expected. Johannesburg is at a low of 14 degrees, peaking at 24. Pretoria 16 and 25. Vereeniging 13 and 24 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour. A 38-year-old suspect is expected to make his first appearance in the Mamelodi Magistrates Court this morning in connection with the murder of 2 women.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
Gosh, so much in the news at the moment. If you've just joined us, this is 702 Breakfast. My name is Bongani Bingwa. Big story, of course, from yesterday was some of the evidence presented to the ad hoc committee looking into allegations of interference in our law enforcement. The Deputy Police Minister not able to make a strong case, about what influence, if any, he might have had on the process to disband the political killings task team. He was asked by MPs whether or not he'd even asked the Police Minister Senzo Mkunu what his motivation for disbanding them might have been. And he said he didn't, because the minister is the executive authority, and once a decision has been made, it's been made.
I didn't question whether it's right for him to write a letter like that, because, when an executive authority makes a decision and pens it down so that there's no misinterpretation of the decision. He took a stand and communicated that stand.
He was asked whether or not he had been consulted about the decision, and he said it came as a surprise.
As a surprise to me, particularly the immediate disbandment of the unit and the dates that were set. That to me was a problem, because the people who can be able to say we think we can close up this through this particular process are the operatives themselves out of an engagement. Because the discussions we were having with the National Commissioner, for that decision to ultimately be implemented, it will necessarily need the engagement of all the role players.
So they weren't consulted, the so-called role players. So then the MPs were confused. If you weren't consulted on even something like, what do you do? When one MP even said, when you take a bath, he was that specific, you take a bath every morning. Now you get out of the office, what do you do? He says, well, you know, he said the police minister hadn't yet delegated any responsibilities to him. Have a listen.
We don't have delegated powers signed off that this is what you do, this is what you are doing. But we had work to do, and we were not like sitting in the office not knowing what to do. But I think from the beginning up to now, I think he's ready to do that, because, you know, even by the time the directive came out, I think we were almost at the tail end, even though the organogram was not yet signed off. As I said, I think it was signed off around May of SAPS. But I think it will be fair for me to sit here, Chair, and say that the minister is ready. You know, it happens that this process is concluded tomorrow and they say everybody go to work. We should be able to have delegations.
More than a year later. More than a year later, he can't tell MPs what he does. He says, no, the minister was still coming around to it. He hadn't yet delegated any responsibilities to. But it's not as if he sits, you know, he goes to the office and he does nothing. So what is it? Guys. But the minister was, you know, the minister was about to tell him. He was at the tail end of getting to that. A year later. This is somebody who's a reasonable man, one presumes. He was asked a question by the DA MP Glynis Breitenbach about the state of the country and whether or not we have accountability mechanisms to deal with all the nonsense that we have and what those should be. Listen to this answer. A perler, really.
Lack of accountability creates a problem. There must be accountability. There must be consequences.
The question is a real question, Mr. Matala, not an abstract one. Do you agree that decades of no accountability have led us to where we are? It's not what happens if, when, how. We're here. We know there's a mess. I put it to you that is the reason we're in this mess, is this culture of no accountability.
We are agreeing, Honorable
Thank you.
Breitenbach, that there must be consequences.
There must be consequences for him, don't you think? What's he doing there? What are the rest of these deputy ministers doing? That was one of the big questions from yesterday's ad hoc committee session. We've got a suspended police minister, we've got an acting police minister, and 2 deputies. Right? What are they doing?
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
14 after 7, what you need to know at this hour. The U.S. Embassy in Mali has urged all American citizens to leave that country immediately due to the worsening security situation, fuel blockades, ongoing armed conflict there. 11 people, including 8 Hungarians, 2 Germans, and a Kenyan pilot were killed when a tourist plane crashed en route to Kenya's Masai Mara National Reserve. The aircraft burst into flames on impact, leaving no survivors. Ivory Coast President Alassane Ouattara has been re-elected, for a fourth term with 89% of the vote after opposition figures were barred, cementing his 14-year grip on power. This, of course, as the opposition leaders in Tanzania have all been imprisoned as that country goes to the polls. It really is extraordinary. And we've got to ask ourselves the question, is democracy working for the continent? And Tracy Ellis Ross, the daughter of music legend Diana Ross, was born on this day in 1978.
702. Up next.
The Big Interview.
EWN Traffic.
This Eyewitness News Traffic brought to you by Outsurance. SMS out to 45142 now. You could save on your car insurance if you don't ask them for 500 Rand. 500 Rand. Let me not steal your $100. It's 500 Rand. Big time delays everywhere, Amo.
That's correct, Bongani. Well, if you're traveling in straight view bumper-to-bumper traffic on the N3 North, that's between Leondale Road and Heidelberg Road. A car is stuck on this route, just on the left lane. So please be on the lookout there while traveling on the Mike 1 North bumper-to-bumper traffic between Boysons and Car Street due to peak time pressure. There's also peak time delays on the M2 West. This is between Heidelberg Road and the Crown Interchange. More updates coming up. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Clever late excuse number 89. Your dog decided to play hide and seek with your car keys. Nice try. Fortunately, with the Outsurance points when on the roads, you no longer have to come up with creative excuses for being late. They are there, the pointsmen, easing traffic congestion to get you there quickly and safely. Outsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP.
Huawei Watch GT6 Series, 2025's must-have smartwatch, introducing the king of power. Up to 21 days of unstoppable battery life in a sleek titanium and ceramic design that's as strong as it's stylish. The Trackmaster with 24/7 heart rate tracking, sleep monitoring, advanced health management, and the world's first cycling virtual power feature. Fully compatible with both iOS and Android. Get yours now from just 169 Rand a month over 36 months or 4,999 Rand at selected retailers. T's and C's apply.
It's time to hit the streets and show what you're made of. The Discovery Vitality Chicken Run, flavored by Nando's, Saturday, 8 November at 5 p.m. This one's pure city magic, reimagined and revitalized through Josie My Josie. You can choose 5K for fun, 10Ks for bragging rights. If you're not ready, come on. You've sprinted for a taxi, right? You've dodged potholes, climbed stairs when the power was out. You're trained, man. Getting there will be easy. It's via the Gau train to Park Station, then a free Prasa train to Ellis Park. Lace up, show up. And enter now at racepass.com.
Sunrail has reconstructed the R21 from Pomona Interchange to Olifantsfontein Interchange. This important corridor, carrying over 45,000 vehicles daily, is critical to supporting economic activity, and these upgrades ensure efficient connectivity to OR Tambo International Airport and major economic hubs. This 309 million rand project created jobs and supported local businesses. The work included full-depth mill and replace of asphalt base and surfacing on slow lanes, mill and replace of asphalt surfacing on fast lanes, ultra-thin friction course UTFC resurfacing over all lanes, replacement of bridge joints and resurfacing of ramps and crossroads to make travel smoother. Sunrail, an agency of the Department of Transport.
For the first time ever, the G20 summit is being hosted on African soil, a global moment of solidarity, equality and sustainability in Africa at the center. Tune in this Friday between 6 and 9 for the G20 Correspondence Desk on 702. Brought to you by RMB and FNB, proud sponsors of this year's G20. The latest news, views, insights and breakthroughs. The G20 Correspondence Desk on 702. Brought to you by RMB and FNB, divisions of First Rand Bank Limited, an authorized financial services and credit provider.
702.
The Big Interview.
With Bongani Bingwa.
18 minutes after 7 o'clock. Who can forget those emotional scenes? Families breaking down as they finally heard the answers to questions that had haunted them for years. What happened to my father? What happened to my mother? Who killed them? Why did they have to die? The evidence, of course, heard at the Truth and Reconciliation Commission more or nearly 30 years ago was meant to bring justice to the victims of apartheid-era crimes and their families. And now a judicial inquiry is looking into questions of why those prosecutions never took place. It was set up by the president in May, and it's looking at whether political interference or other obstacles may have blocked the prosecution of old TRC cases. You'll remember last week we spoke to Lukhanyo Talata, who of course has been really on a crusade to try and find out what happened to the Craddock Four, and specifically his father fought Talata. And he says, as a family member of one of the victims of those crimes, they were betrayed. We're joined now by Lionel Ardendorf, who's the spokesperson for the Commission of Inquiry looking at those TRC cases. A very good morning to you and welcome to 7 into Breakfast.
Morning. It's nice being with you and your listeners.
So, from what you can make out, what was supposed to happen after the TRC? What did and what did not?
Bongani, the TRC Cases Inquiry was established to find out exactly that. But what we know is that around 4,000 cases, this is what our research has shown, were referred to either the police for further investigations or to the NPA for prosecutions. And 23 years after the Amnesty Committee of the TRC handed its report to then President Mbeki, little to nothing, according to the family, according to the public, has been done. And there has been this outcry. There has been the Kalata court case, that then led to a particular judgment, and the president then deciding in May that he was going to establish this commission of inquiry to establish the true facts and everything related to it.
4,000 cases, that's a staggering number.
Yeah.
There's often a misperception, by members of the public, because we may not understand how the wheels of justice turn, however slowly, right? That nothing has been done. Really? Nothing was done?
That is what we need to establish, and we hope to have the answers once we compile and announce our report. But what we know is that the NPA has throughout the years announced what they have done. Some people do feel that it was not enough. And then what the police has done because most of the cases were referred to them for investigation, obviously. And then some were arguing that, look, my complaint was against a police officer. So how do you expect me now to complain or for the police to investigate themselves? And then there has been an arrangement, we are told, between the police and the NPA, that the NPA would establish a unit that would investigate these cases. And then here we are, still not any wiser.
You're talking perhaps in that example anyway, at the micro level.
Yep.
Much higher, there is a belief. Lukhanyo Talata, for example, holds this view that there must have been some kind of deal struck, because if you prosecute the TRC cases relating to apartheid-era crimes, you equally then have to prosecute those cases that implicate people involved in the struggle. Many of them, of course, now, certainly since 1994, themselves in senior positions in government. What's your view?
I do not have a view. The TRC Case Inquiry, obviously, it does not have a view. Our work is to find out what exactly happened, who are involved, who are implicated, what the truth is. And it's only once the report is out that we will be able to formulate our view.
But will you be able to get to that truth? Many written statements now closed. I would imagine there may be blind spots, right, that could affect what this inquiry finds. It's so many years later.
And that is why it is so frustrating for the TRC Cases Inquiry that ministers, that presidents, former and current, that police commissioners, former and current, that heads of the NPA, former and current, at provincial and at national level, are not working with us. We are struggling to get information from them. We are struggling to get cooperation from them. Because when we announced in September that after our first pre-hearing engagement, that they should come and assist us with any information, documentation, photographs or audios that they might have that can help us advance our terms of references. 2 months later, still nothing. Still, what we only got from most of them were applications for more extensions.
The TRC archive, how well preserved was it?
I would say that it is probably one of the best preserved archives, one of the best documented processes, and we have obviously this access to it. The problem for us, however, and this is the issue, that it's not, what we're doing is not a rehash of the TRC inquiry, TRC process. What we are doing is interested in those cases that were referred to the police for investigation and to the NPA for prosecution. So once once a case, for instance, have been with it at the TRC and there has not been any recommendation, for instance, it is not, unfortunately, falling under our scope. But those cases that were referred to the police, we need to understand why is it that they have not been investigated.
So outside of the TRC archive, you're saying you're still requesting for documents that may have been lost, some perhaps even destroyed or no longer in existence. I would imagine there'd also be quite, there would be key witnesses who are either aging or deceased. I mean, the cynical person will look at all of this and say, this is yet another Band-Aid to paper over gaping wounds.
We want to conduct our business on the assumption that the documents, the evidence are still available. That's the first. The second one is, you're right, many people have that perception that it's just a Band-Aid. We want to get to the truth. We want to understand what happened. And that is why we're only going after those cases that were referred to the police for investigation and have not been investigated. Those cases that were referred to the NPA for prosecution and have not been prosecuted.
And that total still tallies to?
And that total, according to us, still tallies to around 3,000.
3,000. I mean, that's extraordinary. What do we tell families who waited for justice, who believed that democracy would bring them closure, would give them answers? Many of these apartheid-era criminals, people accused of incredible crimes, have walked onto the sunset or into the sunset. They live in gated communities. They drink champagne, maybe even eat caviar.
Yeah.
The families are still waiting for answers.
Look, it is very disappointing that democracy have let so many families down. It is sad that the police and the NPA did not give them the answers and the justice that they essentially craved for. And that is why we believe that the process that the president adopted by establishing this inquiry was the right one.
But will it give them those answers?
I mean, that is what we
people
hope.
Don't cooperate, or they say to you, Angaz, what do?
We do have the power to subpoena them, but our commissioners have said that should be the last resort. We want people to cooperate with us voluntarily, because they know best that is when you get the answers from them. I do want to make this clear, that our commissioners, Justice Sisi Khampepe, has made it very clear that we are not going to leave any stone unturned.
When does this wrap up?
We hope to wrap it up by around April next year. We are starting our hearings only on the 10th of November, and then there will be that break. But we hope the instruction from the commissioners are very clear, as soon as possible, but as thoroughly as possible.
April next year, with any luck?
That is my assumption, but the commissioners are looking at the timetable.
Oh, I appreciate your time. Lionel Adendorf is the spokesperson for that Commission of Inquiry looking into the cases from the TRC that were not prosecuted.
EWN Business.
Catch up with business news now, 28 after 7. Mutero, Baldwin Properties revenue jumping to what, 1.2 billion rand. What's the reason?
Well, the company is saying the cut in interest rates earlier in this year and also enhanced loan affordability amongst consumers has boosted more appetite for their properties. Baldwin Properties says the company's revenue jumped 44% to 1.2 billion rand, driven by a 51% increase in apartment sales. South Africa's largest sectional title and estate developer says profit increased to 102 million rand, reflecting improved macroeconomic conditions in South Africa. So a lot more of us are feeling like we can go out to the market and
buy an apartment.
Few properties.
You bought an apartment. you get an apartment. All right, let's talk about Anglo. They are shopping for new buyers for its coal unit.
Yeah, Anglo American is once again going out to the market looking for fresh bidders for its steel-making coal assets after Peabody Energy backed out of that $3.8 billion deal. The mining giant has initiated arbitration proceedings against Peabody, seeking compensation for wrongful termination of that contract. Now, an underground explosion earlier this year at Monraba North Mine has posed challenges for the company, impacting production and potentially deterring new buyers of that asset. Peabody arguing that the incident constituted a material adverse change allowing them to terminate that particular deal. Anglo, of course, disputes the claim, asserting that the incident does not constitute a material change and the sale should have gone through.
Okay. I mean, I think explosions are a pretty big deal.
I don't know if you've
the rand exploding.
3.8 billion.
Yeah.
It's still exploding this morning, Bongani, in the green against all three major currencies. 17 rand 16 cents against the US dollar, 19 rand 94 cents against the euro, and at 22 rand 72 cents against the British pound. The price of gold at $3,953 an ounce, while platinum is now down 0.5% at $1,561. Brent crude still keeping low at $63.65 a barrel. More business after 8.
Time now for your latest eyewitness news. Let's go straight to Sfiso Zulu at the news desk.
Thanks, Bongani. Good morning. The inquiry into Truth and Reconciliation Commission cases says it doesn't expect any delays on the start of the first public hearings next month. There are concerns about a lack of cooperation from government departments and agencies. President Cyril Ramaphosa set up the inquiry to investigate allegations of interference and efforts to stop the prosecution of TRC cases. Evidence leaders say they have received an underwhelming response to requests for information from some government departments. TRC Cases Inquiry spokesperson Lionel Adendorf.
The TRC Cases Inquiry continues to call on all those who can help us with our terms of reference to provide us with information and documents in their possession. Our commissioners,
Health Minister Aaron Motsoaledi and National Assembly Speaker Togo Didiza have relaunched the country's TB caucus to rally political parties for the eradication of the disease. The parliamentary caucus waned since its launch in 2018, and Motsoaledi says the relaunch is necessary to get MPs to once again play an active role in mobilizing their communities to get tested. The Health Department aims to test 5 billion people a year as it also prepares for the introduction of a new vaccine to prevent the disease. Lindsay Dentlinger reports.
Minister Aaron Motsoaledi says parliamentarians need to be a bridge to their communities to reduce stigma, encourage early testing and provide support and guidance if government is to be successful in reaching its testing target. Motsoaledi says while new cases of TB have declined over the last 10 years, it's still affecting hundreds of thousands each year, with HIV patients accounting for 54% of the TB population. Motsoaledi says trials for the new M72 vaccine in 7 countries, with the biggest testing site in South Africa, will pave the way for a switch in prevention.
And we believe by 2028, the trials will be over and we'll start rolling it out. That is our hope. Only then can we safely say we are bringing an end to TB.
Motsoaledi says TB will feature prominently at discussions of the G20 Health Ministers meeting in Polokwane next month. Lindsay Dentlinger, Eyewitness News, Parliament.
A complaint by an e-hailing driver not being paid has led police to an indoor marijuana cultivation lab in Cape Town. Police say after receiving the complaint, they accompanied the driver to an address in Botsig where they found 2 men. The officers detected a strong smell of dagga, requested to search the premises and made the discovery. Police spokesperson Ndake Gwala says the suspects were arrested on charges of cultivation and dealing in drugs.
The members seized 205 dagga plants, 87 rolled blue cheese dagga cigarettes, 1 silver scale, 64 rolled birthday cake dagga joints, 1 black book containing cultivation lessons and equipment.
And as Tanzania heads to the polls today, some critics say the country can expect voter apathy and possible stifling of opposition voices. The vote comes at a time when candidates from two main opposition parties have been disqualified, opposition gatherings have been banned, and government critics have been abducted, killed, or arrested. Analysts say President Samia Suluhu Hassan is determined to cement her position with a victory that will silence critics within her party. More than 37 million people are eligible to vote, and this election encompasses separate votes for presidents, MPs, and local politicians. A cloudy day in store for Gauteng with showers expected. The temperatures are at lows of 13 and 16 degrees, peaking at highs between 24 and 25.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on some of the roads within the Sandton CBD routes, including Grayston Drive, Catherine Street, as well as Rivonia Road. Traffic is gridlocked here due to the peak time delays. While travelling in Morningside, we've got an accident reported on South Road. It happened right near Rivonia Road, causing delays. Please be on the lookout there.
The top story this hour, the inquiry into Truth and Reconciliation Commission cases says it doesn't expect any delays on the start of the public hearings next month.
You can become a victim of a legal problem: wrongful arrest, assault, uncontested divorce, rental disputes, maintenance matters, or labor problems. It can happen to you. Clientele Legal provides tough professional lawyers for an affordable monthly premium. Our legal team is standing by to assist you 24 hours a day. Join today. SMS Legal to 48721. That's legal to 48721. Clientele General is an authorized FSP and licensed non-life insurer. T's and C's online. Standard rates apply.
Big news for Betway players. There's a brand new way to top up your Betway account, and it's only at Discam. Even better, Discam Rewards members score an instant 10% of every Betway Bucks voucher they buy. Betway Bucks is exclusively available at Discam stores across South Africa. It's fast, easy, and secure to fund your Betway account. No hassle, just quick convenience. Plus, if you're a Discam Better Rewards member, you'll get an automatic 10% of every single Betway Bucks purchase. Whether you're getting game ready or just want to keep your balance topped up, it's the smart way to play. So head to Discam, grab your Betway Bucks, and get more with Betway.
Betway is licensed and regulated by the Western Gambling and Racing Board. No persons under the age of 18 years are permitted to gamble. For gambling counseling, call SARGF on 0800 006 008 or WhatsApp 076 675 0710.
Welcome to the brand new days.
Sail the world with Norwegian Cruise Line, with more to see, more to do, and more to enjoy. Plus, upgrade your holiday with NCL's More at Sea for premium beverages, specialty dining, and much more. Think international cruising. Think NCL. For the best deals available, visit ncl.com or contact your travel agent. Restrictions apply.
Welcome to the brand new days.
This week, 702 is in conversation with Auto & General. We'll be talking about Auto & General's events liability insurance. It's the insurance for event managers, organizers, and exhibitors, protecting them if something goes wrong. So whether you're organizing a once-off celebration or a series of events, this is a conversation you don't want to miss. It's going to happen on Thursday, 702 Drive with John Pullman. Auto & General is a licensed non-life insurer and FSP.
702.
WhatsApp Bongani on 072
702 1702.
Morning, Bongani. Bongani, what we're hearing is shocking. So it means that if you can visit all the government department, you'll find people sitting, doing nothing. It's not only that one of a crime, whatever, or police. I'm telling you, this is shocking, Tabange.
Morning, Bongani. I find it insulting to us as taxpayers that we've got two deputy ministers who don't even have any thing to do, basically. We don't know what they do. They all don't know what they are doing, and it's been a year, and we're paying them all this money. I think someone should account for that. And the president basically should be the one who's accounting for that, because he's the one who basically put these two deputy ministers for the reasons that I don't know. It's really, really unfair to us.
It's a hard knock life, SA. It's a hard knock life, SA. It's corrupt, can be. It's corrupt, can be. It's just a mess. The drainage of unnecessary funds could really uplift so many communities. Ayo,
I love that. It's corrupt. It's corrupt. Can you play it again, KG, please? It's corrupt. It's corrupt.
It's a hard knock life. SA, it's a hard knock life. SA, it's corrupt. Can be. It's corrupt.
Does it remind you? What was that song? Cindy, do you know? I am a samurai.
No, I am your butterfly. I need your protection.
Be my samurai.
Die Antwoord.
702.
What's the question?
What's the question is brought to you by Outsurance. Your chance to win up to 3,000 Rand in cash. So first we give you 1,000 Rand for the answer. Later, 2,000 Rand if you can give us the question. SMS out to 45142 now and you could save on your car insurance. If you don't, ask Outsurance for 500 Rand. Today's answer comes from Promise, who is in Boksburg. Promise, what's today's answer?
It's 1983.
1983, says Promise. All right, there you go, Promise. 1,000 Rand coming your way, all thanks to Outsurance in 702. What's the question? If the answer is 1983, you know it? Be the 7th caller now on 011 883 0702.
EWN Sport.
All right, here we go. The Proteas women, I mean, I wonder if we're going to look back on this as a kind of golden age for South African sport, because we're taking it so for granted now. I mean, you were telling us earlier about Banyana qualifying for WAFCON. We know who the world rugby champions are. Bafana have qualified for the World Cup. And now the Proteas women are also on the verge of glory.
Right, and with sport, we know this, it ebbs and flows.
Yeah, I mean, athletics were doing well there.
Yeah. So you're currently living in the good old days. You are currently experiencing the good old days. When people say, I remember what it was like, write this down.
All our teams.
Well, it's finally here, the Women's Cricket World Cup semi-final where the Proteas women play the favourites England, captain Laura Wolfart.
I think for me tomorrow it'll just be about keeping everyone as calm as possible. I think the calmest team out there will most likely win. I think 50 overs is a very long time and it's very easy to let the pressure of a semi-final get to you, but I think, it's still just a game of cricket and there'll be ups and downs within the game, and I think the team that sort of rides those waves the best throughout the 100-over game will come out on top.
Today's game starts at 11. Proteas men thrashed Pakistan by 55 runs in the first T20. Proteas posted 194 for 9. Hendricks with 60. Player of the match, Corbin Bosch, made 36 from 22 and took 4 wickets. Captain Donovan Ferreira.
I'm really proud of the team. And when guys are rested, it gives opportunities, like you say, to new guys. And the guys really put up their hand today. I'm really proud of the way we bowled. But I think we also put a really good score on the board and we defended it today.
Live action on the go. New Zealand are currently 74 for 2 after 16 overs. They're chasing 176 to beat England in the second ODI. The Black Caps lead the 3-match series 1-0. Banyana beat DR Congo 1-0 to qualify for WAFCON on a 2-1 aggregate. Kgatlana with the goal in stoppage time. Orlando Pirates beat defending champions Magesi 2-1 in the Carling Knockout Cup. Moremi and Magopa with the goals in the second half. Tonight, Marumagalan plays Stellenbosch. League Cup action. Arsenal's hosting Brighton, Liverpool against Crystal Palace, Manchester City's away at Swansea and Chelsea take on Wolves. Newcastle are hosting Spurs. Springboks open their end-of-year tour against Japan on Saturday. Prop Zach Porton makes his debut. Bok coach Rassie Rasmus.
I think continuity is obviously something that builds confidence. I wouldn't say everybody that's on tour here, we can guarantee that they will play this on this end-of-year tour, because playing the teams that we are playing, it's quite important that we keep momentum, and we'll definitely select every weekend the team that we think can win that specific match. But yes, the teams will change for sure.
Kickoff on Saturday is 6:10. And in tennis, a big result at the Paris Masters. Cameron Norrie came from a set down to beat the world number 1 Carlos Alcaraz 4-6, 6-3 and 6-4. No problem for Fritz, Shelton and Rublev, as well as Medvedev and Agiela Sim. Cindy Paluta, Eyewitness News Sports.
Naked people run faster because naked people spend less time on insurance admin and more time working on their personal bests. Go to naked.insure now, get a car insurance quote in 90 seconds, and get naked. Naked Financial Technology is an authorized FSP.
Make November this month of yes with FlySaf Air. Get 30% off flights on the new route between Lanseria and PE, as well as Lanseria and East London. Flights start 1 November. 30% discount applies to travel throughout November on these routes. The sale will end at midnight, so don't say no, just go to flysaffair.co.za for great deals between Lanseria and PE or Lanseria and East London. Fly Saffair, for the love of flying. T's and C's apply.
Introducing South Africa's most affordable way to get hearing aids. At Specsavers Audiology, you can now get a pair of hearing aids from as little as 599 Rand per month. Hearing clearly shouldn't be a luxury. Enjoy life's moments from 599 Rand per month. Test your hearing today and join the conversation with Specsavers Audiology. T's and C's apply.
EWN Traffic.
16 to 8, the CWN Traffic is brought to you by Citroen. Buy an Aircross from 279,000 Rand or a C3 from 262,000 Rand with a service plan, and you'll get a 4-month payment holiday. Visit citroen.co.za. T's and C's apply. Now, Sandton is obviously one of the busier areas on any given morning, and lots of delays today. Amo?
That's correct, Bongani. Peak time delays along Grayston Drive, Rivonia Road, as well as Catherine Street. Traveling within the CBD, please be on the lookout and drive with care. While in Morningside, we've got an accident reported. It's on South Road. It's right near Rivonia Road, causing delays. There's also queuing traffic coming out of Alexandra, as well as Kelvin areas. This is due to those roadworks that are taking place right near the Baklu interchange. Delays from Vincent Chabalala Road. If you're heading towards the city of Tshwane and you want to use the R21 North, please be on the lookout for roadworks that are taking place right near Olifantsfontein Road in the Tembisa area, and they're causing delays. Maybe try to use the N1 North through Midrand instead. And there's also roadworks taking place in Boksburg along the N17 West. Delays between the R21 and Carnival City entrance. More updates coming up. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
Picturing your life in a Citroen A-Cross SUV?
Wait, did you just pause the ad?
Yep, practicing for your car payments.
I get it. 4 months, no payments, like a holiday for my wallet.
Press pause on payments and play on life. Get a 4-month payment holiday when you buy the Citroen A-Cross SUV with 10-inch HD touchscreen, warranty and service plan from 281,500. Visit citroen.co.za. T's and C's apply.
702.
What's the question?
For 2,000 Rand in cash, all thanks to Outsurance. Please tell me, what's the question? If the answer is 1983. Let's go to Natasha in Florida. What's the question?
The question is, who wrote the song for Dolly Parton and Kenny Rogers?
Nope, that's not quite the question. 1983 wrote the song, Natasha? Not quite the right question. Now, somebody named Bongani must surely know the question. Bongani, what's the question?
Good morning, how are you?
I'm very well. Go ahead.
The question is, what year was Islands in the Stream by Dolly Parton and Kenny G released?
You see, with a name like that, you couldn't go wrong. Hey?
Definitely,
you couldn't go wrong. You and Islands in the Stream, hey, Bongani?
Thank you.
2,000 Rand is coming your way, mates. All thanks to Outsurance and 702. Oh man, sounds as good as ever. Don't cut it short, KG. Please. Please.
You do something to me that I can't explain. Hold me closer and I feel no pain. Every beat of my heart. We got something going on. Tender love is blind. It requires a dedication. All this love we feel needs no conversation. We ride it together, making love with each other. Islands in the stream, that is what we are. No one in between. How can we be wrong? Sail away with me to another world, and we rely on each other.
You're watching our live stream. We can make this a fun exercise. Check how many songs Amo does not know.
It doesn't mean I don't know the song because I'm not singing along to the song. KG.
Maybe we can have a tally every week, eh?
Okay, maybe we should.
Amma just sits there.
No.
You could spend 10 minutes hunting for the TV remote or get a 10-minute quote from Outsurance that could save you thousands on your car insurance. SMS out to 45142. Like 29-year-old Sana, who now pays an incredibly low 796 Rand a month for her 2025 Jatura Dashing. With Outsurance Comprehensive, you get 24/7 roadside assistance in case you break down, run out of petrol, lock your keys in the car, and more. SMS out to 45142. Get used to getting more. After switching, 65-year-old Helena now pays only 398 Rand a month for her 2025 Hyundai Exter. Not an Outsurance client yet? Get a quick and easy quote today. If Outsurance can't beat what you're paying, ask them for 500 Rand. Make that 1,500 Rand if you've been claim-free and with the same insurer for 3 years. Savings or cash, you have nothing to lose. SMS out to 45142. That's out to 45142. Outsurance, licensed insurer and FSP. TCs and information online. Limits apply.
Think about 6 years ago, when Amapiano was just a musical instrument. When streaming meant watching water flow, not videos online. And remote work was only said when your remote batteries died. So it makes you wonder, what will the next 6 years bring? Hino trucks now come standard with a 6-year drivetrain warranty, covering everything from pistons to gears. So although a lot can change in 6 years, our warranty promise won't. T's and C's apply. Hino, all the way.
At Auto & General, we understand your business is built on more than just vehicles. It's your stock, tools and equipment, and the premises where you work. Auto & General Business Insurance is designed for businesses like yours, protecting your assets against fire, theft, storms, and other unexpected events. To protect your livelihood, visit autogen.co.za and get an obligation-free business insurance quote. Auto & General, never not there. Auto & General is a licensed non-life insurer and FSP. T's and C's online.
Sometimes the clearest view comes from those who face the darkest storms. Today on Afternoon Drive with John Perlman, you'll hear how breast cancer survivor, the head of outreach at Holy Rosary School, Yvette Bibis, is using her story to shine a light on the importance of access to reading glasses and how the Discam Foundation is helping to share that message far and wide. Afternoon Drive with John Perlman. Remember, every swipe of your Discam Better Rewards card supports inspiring community stories. The Discam Foundation, caring for the community. Every swipe counts on 702.
702.
702. What's gone viral?
With Kabazela.
Kabazela.
Good morning to you, Bella.
Time now for the world of viral content. Let's start with a driver suffering a medical emergency. And I'm going to tell you a story or two of mine, but I'll let you go first.
Yeah, gee, I mean, you watch this video and it is scary as can be. So it took place on the R40 between Mbombela and White River in Mpumalanga. And it's a Ford Ranger bakkie, and it's now on the other side of the road and driving into traffic. And the traffic is pretty hectic. There's a lot of cars on the road. And it's swerving left, right. Then it goes onto the middle island for a bit, back onto the road. And as it comes up this little incline, you see that there's a massive 18-wheeler truck approaching. And as this bakkie gets, up this incline and it sees the truck, it takes a sharp turn right, hits the barriers on the left-hand side, the steel barriers on the right-hand side, and then ramps over and then disappears into the bottom of this little valley. And the people who are filming this in their car, you can just hear the panic and the worry on their when they sort of narrating what's going on. And according to authorities, the driver was okay. He sustained some injuries and is in hospital. And the passenger in the vehicle is okay, walked away unharmed. But now the theory is that he suffered some kind of medical emergency. So some people are saying that it could have been an epileptic fit. He then, sort of gained consciousness a little bit, and that's why he did that hard turn to the right when he saw the truck. So very, very scary. I mean, that's obviously what happened there. Something happened to the driver, and that's why he was on the other side and swerving all like that. So, I mean, can you imagine the fear? You're a passenger. I mean, never mind the driver, but you're the passenger now sitting next to somebody and you see this happen next to you. What on earth do you do? Do you try and grab the steering wheel? I don't know what you would do in that situation. I mean, it's a hectic thing. So I wanted to see if anybody has a story like that where somebody has had a medical emergency behind the steering wheel, and you were in the car with them, or it happened to you whilst you were driving. You had some kind of a medical emergency. Even falling asleep behind the steering wheel.
Yep.
If you see somebody, if you're the passenger and somebody dozes off, it's like, hey, what are you doing? Wake up.
Yeah.
It's hectically scary.
Listen, I used to think I have narcolepsy, which of course is that inability to control your sleeping cycles, particularly during the daytime, because I used to.
Yeah.
I have it hasn't happened in a long time, but in my younger years, I would at times fall asleep behind the wheel, and it would be 11 o'clock in the morning. So obviously, of course, I hadn't consumed anything that would have made me fall asleep, but it was one of those things I had to get some attention to, and of course my doctor and I dealt with that. I don't have narcolepsy. I am okay to drive behind the wheel, but it's one of those things.
Was this happening
quite frequently?
Yeah.
It just happened quite frequently during the day, especially, whereas I would find I'd be, awake as an owl, if you will, in the evenings, but very late or early in the mornings, I would have that struggle. And I think it's one of those things that people don't always pay attention to. You've got to have something like that checked out and speak to a medical expert. But we'll take your responses to that. Have you been in a situation where you've suffered some kind of medical emergency behind the wheel, or were you a passenger at the time? I'd love to hear your stories, including, of course, falling asleep behind the wheel. Now, your next story, it really has to be seen. I want you to have a stab at trying to describe it. Bearing in mind, Kabazela, this is a family show. Bearing in mind, this is a family show. Go ahead.
We shall keep it clean. We shall keep it clean. So, this is a scene from a movie called Inherent Vice, and it stars Joaquin Phoenix and Josh Brolin. Now, the two of them are in a car. Joaquin Phoenix is the passenger, and Josh Brolin is driving. But now Josh Brolin is eating a chocolate banana lolly, and he's devouring this thing, like loving it, right? And Joaquin Phoenix is sitting next to him, and he notices this, and he looks across at him with the biggest look of disgust and like, what are you doing? Like, how do you eat something like that? Essentially, it is a look of disgust. And you get these people, Bongles, who, if they feel something, they just don't have a poker face. Their face will tell it all. They cannot hide their feelings. Right?
So I've got to come in there. I've got to come in there. Part of what makes this such an interesting story is that, so this is a film.
Yes.
And in the scene, I mean, I'm pretty sure that Joaquin Phoenix would have known that Josh Brolin was going to be eating some kind of ice cream, but it's the way he does it. And what I understand from the video is that it wasn't scripted. So his reactions are completely real. So he wasn't in character, if you will. He's just responding to his co-star, who is almost performing how he is eating this ice cream. And the way he shoves it in his mouth and the way he licks it. And this other guy has just got a look of disdain and horror and just disbelief on his face.
Yes. Yeah. And cannot hide how he feels about it. So, it's always an interesting one where you can hide your feelings, because some people's faces just say it all when they're upset.
I don't have a poker
whatever
face.
It may be. So,
I don't have a poker face.
Your face
if I'm not happy with you,
shows it all.
You will know. You will know.
But is there something on your face that happens? Like for me, if I'm upset, because I also don't have a poker face, my lips get quite thin. Like for some reason, I don't know what happens to my
show
lips.
Show us on the YouTube.
Away.
Do you purse them?
Well, I can't now because I'm laughing and you're going to make me
You're
blush.
not upset.
But,
right. Okay.
And I'm not upset, exactly.
Do you have a poker face? Are you able to hide your emotions even when you're upset? Or does your face give it away?
Bongani, you're so bad, man. When you said Amo just sits there because she doesn't know the songs, I had to log on to YouTube, rewind, and see Amo for myself.
702 Feedback
with Rupfiwa Kone.
Any lies told, Rupfiwa?
Lies detected.
Do you know the songs?
Some of them, Bongani.
Do you have a poker face?
Bongani, I think you've told me this before that, you know
don't.
what, I don't have
You
a
don't
poker
have a poker
face,
face.
and I don't know how to hide the way I truly feel.
So the point is to always make you smile, right?
You better.
All right. What other feedback do you have?
Well, Bongani, we did have a response from yesterday's big interview from the parent of
Thandi, the mother of the child.
The mother of the child, yes.
Whose name we won't mention.
Yes, and I'm trying not to so badly if you notice.
No, I got it.
However, they did say they imposed a few sanctions yesterday. And one of those were internal suspensions for the offender to spend today, which is today, a day of disciplinary hearing, and he must spend a day away from school, play therapy with school educational psychologist, a warning letter to the child and his family.
So
to not
remember,
behave like that anymore.
Remember, there were two incidents. There was the one of the bullying, for which we understand there was a video, which the family has now seen, and they say it's shocking. And there was the separate one of the pencil shavings. The second one is still part of an ongoing investigation,
yes.
the school says. And so Sinstithians still won't come on. And we were due to speak to Thandi to get her feedback, but I think there's some effort underway involving now even people in the department to try and resolve the situation. But what is very, very clear to me, based on what we have so far, and because they won't come on, what is very clear is that Sinstithians has handled this absolutely appallingly, because they won't even account to talk about their policies and whether or not those, in fact, help the kids and their families who are the victims of bullying. And I think it's a shame that they won't come on and speak and give their version of events. Coming up, another chance to win up to 30,000 Rand in cash. WhatsApp Absa Swiper Rewards to 067 384 0022 now. That's 067 384 0022 now.
This is EWN.
Joburg police conduct a major drug bust, and there's overwhelming support for a Mamelodi family after the murder of their two daughters. Good morning, I am Sfiso Zulum. Gauteng police have discovered 20 million Rand worth of cocaine in Midrand. Officers conducted an operation yesterday after receiving a tip-off about drugs that were being stored at a plot in Blue Hills. Investigations revealed the drugs were brought into South Africa from a neighboring country and were destined for Cape Town. The police's Atlenda Mate says one person has been arrested.
We can confirm that we have arrested the owner of the plot, a 56-year-old man. The cocaine weighing about 80 kilograms, which is worth 20 million, has been seized. He is expected to appear before the Midrand Magistrate Court later on this week.
The family of two Mamelodi women who were murdered say they will be buried in their home province in Limpopo. Ballistic and Siamo Moramacha were shot and left on the side of the road meters away from where they lived after a night out on Saturday. This morning, a 38-year-old man believed to be the boyfriend of one of the women will appear in the Mamelodi Magistrates Court. Khumuzo Modise reports.
Since the ordeal, Mamelodi community members have offered support for the Moramacha family, with local taxi associations also donating their services for funeral arrangements. Ballistic and Siamo will be laid to rest this weekend in their home village of Lukau in Limpopo. The women's aunt, Maiki Moramacha, says they are overwhelmed by the support.
The people of Mamelodi have supported us. I am still shocked. We have nobody here, no family. I'm lost for words. May God bless them.
While the family has made its way to Limpopo ahead of the funeral, the 38-year-old suspect will make his first court appearance in Mamelodi this morning. Khomotso Modise, Eyewitness News in Pretoria.
The Matlanga Commission of Inquiry will now turn its focus on the arrest of alleged criminal Katiso KT Molefe, who is accused of orchestrating DJ Somebody's murder. Molefe allegedly operated a hit on the DJ in 2022 in Sandton. The commission has, over the past 2 days, heard testimony from ballistic experts who were deployed to the political killings task team. They revealed that the murder weapon used to kill DJ Somebody was linked to 29 other criminal cases. Alfara Mushwana reports.
Katiso KT Molefe was first arrested in December last year in connection with the murder of Vereniging engineer Armin Swart. Swart's company had exposed irregularities in a Transnet tender that was allegedly awarded to a firm linked to Molefe's nephew through corrupt dealings. Molefe was arrested again in July this year for his alleged role in orchestrating the assassination of DJ Somebody. Senior forensic analyst at the South African Police Service, Captain Solomon Mudisane, told the Matlanga Commission yesterday that the firearms used in DJ Somebody's killing were also linked to several other high-profile murders.
This specific firearm that I'm referring to is a 7.62 by 39 millimeter caliber Russian Kalashnikov model AK-47 full automatic assault rifle.
New witnesses are expected to testify this morning. Alfa Ramshwana, Eyewitness News.
And Cameroon's Interior Minister Paul Atanganji says opposition leader Issa Chiroma Bakary will face legal action over allegations of inciting violent post-election demonstrations. At least 4 protesters have been killed during clashes between security forces and opposition supporters since Cameroon's election 2 weeks ago. 92-year-old President Paul Biya won an 8th consecutive term. Chiroma Bakary insists he won the election, a claim that's been dismissed by Biya's ruling party, the Cameroon People's Democratic Movement. Dr. P.P. Hughes, policy analyst with Cameroonian think tank Nkafu Policy Institute, speaks about the situation in the country.
As of today, 29, is that protests are still ongoing. We have protests in major cities. The protest in Douala is one of those protests that have really drawn the attention of the international communities because our properties have been burned in Marwa, the CPDM.
Gold is trading at $3,957.78 an ounce. The rand is at 17.15 to the dollar, 22.73 to the pound, 19.95 to the euro. Brent crude oil is at $64.31 a barrel.
And in the traffic, we've got delays on the M2 West. This is between Heidelberg Road and the Crown Interchange. An accident is reported between these 2 points, so please be on the lookout there. While traveling on the N3 North, we still have got bumper-to-bumper traffic between Vincent Chabalala Road and the Baklu Interchange, and that's due to the roadworks that are taking place along this route.
And in your sport, less than 3 hours to go to the Proteas Women Cricket World Cup semi-final with England. Proteas men thrashed Pakistan by 55 runs in a first T20. Khatlana scores in stoppage time to see Banyana qualify for WAFCON. Orlando Pirates beat Magesi 2-1 in the Carling knockout quarter-final. And world number 1 Carlos Alcaraz loses in the round of 32 at the Paris Masters.
A cloudy day in store for Gauteng with afternoon thunder showers expected. Johannesburg is at a low of 14 degrees, peaking at highs of 24. Pretoria 16 and 25. Vereniging 13 and 24 degrees. The top story in EWN this hour. Gauteng police have discovered 20 million rands worth of cocaine in Midrand.
EWN, in touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, visit ewn.co.za or download the EWN app.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
Walking the talk, 8 minutes after 8 o'clock. If you've just joined us, this is 702 Breakfast. Welcome to our program. Lots on the go at the moment. We're keeping an eye on a developing story out of Cameroon. 92-year-old Paul Biya re-elected as the president of that country, 43 years at the helm. The whole country has gone up in flames, major protests, and we've seen scenes, of course, of looting and the burning of buildings and the army patrolling streets in various cities, including Douala and I think even the capital, Yaoundé. We're also watching what's unfolding in Tanzania. They're meant to be going to the polls, except what has the president done? She's locked up all the opposition leaders. Can you imagine? Hey? Mali is also having its own little meltdown. The U.S. embassy there asking all Americans to evacuate the country as soon as possible, as ongoing tensions between the government and rebel forces become a lot more tense. Coming back to South Africa, this 20 million rand cocaine bust at a small holding in Midrand. Police officers conducting an operation yesterday following a tip-off. Drugs being stored at a port in Blue Hills. How much do you know of what your neighbors are up to? We spoke to the Commission of Inquiry looking into the TRC cases that were not prosecuted. Another band-aid over a gaping wound. Remember when there was an MEC in KZN who said we need an investigation into why there were lightning strikes? I suppose if she was around today, she'd be calling for a commission.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
Mutero, you clearly don't have a poker face. You're looking at me like I'm being spicy for that comment.
You are, and I gave the right reaction.
Am I being spicy? Never. What's spicy about that? How many commissions do we have at the moment?
Wow, running or past?
Well, how many has this president instituted?
Yeah, no. I'm sure there's a whole shelf.
Right?
Yeah.
I wonder if he'd be shocked at the number of commissions he's instituted. Hey? Do you think he would be shocked at his own? And what did they yield? It was the Whistleblower Awards yesterday, and one of the keynote speakers was the former Chief Justice, Raymond Zondo, who said what? What did he say? What are you doing about my recommendations? What was the point? 1 billion rand? How many years? What are you doing about my recommendations? So here we are, yet another commission. And what will it yield?
Let's talk.
We're listening.
Good morning, Bongs. Talking about medical conditions. There was a gentleman in the East End. He used to own a butchery. I'm not sure if he's still around. So I was a sales rep. So every time I visited him and would have discussions with him, he would fall asleep for a few seconds now and then. And one time I remember even when I would ask him about the condition, what's wrong, and he would just try to explain, but then would fall asleep again for a few seconds. So I don't know what condition was.
Good morning, Bongani. I've not had a medical situation driving, but my late cousin had, and unfortunately that particular incident took his life. So he was with 2 other passengers in the car. When they narrated a story to us, he appeared to be sleeping, like he just bowed his head. And when the guy was sitting in front with him saying, "Hey, dude, wake up, you're sleeping," the car was going out of the road already. It rolled over. Unfortunately, my cousin didn't make it. The other 2 guys were injured, went to hospital, and they came out and they were able to tell a story to say, no, this is what happened. So yeah, and he was epileptic. He was not supposed to be driving, but he always insisted on driving, and unfortunately that didn't end up so well.
The pressure, hey, because we put pressure on people. Why don't you have a driver's license? And then you're forcing people to explain their medical conditions. Sometimes that's why people should not or choose not to drive, not to get a driver's license. You shouldn't get behind the wheel if you've got particular medical conditions that pose a risk to yourself, firstly, but also to others who are road users. We're talking from Kabazela's What's Gone Viral. You should see this video where this man has presumably a driver, presumably some medical condition, and the car just goes side to side, swaying and swaying and swaying. Do you know how frightening it must be to be a passenger, particularly on public transport, and the driver falls asleep or has some issue? heaven forbid, have you been in that situation where either you're the driver or the passenger? The other question, of course, Kabazela wants us to answer is, do you have a poker face? And perhaps just explain what that means. Muteo, what's a poker face? Comes from what game?
From poker. So you would have a poker face so that people don't figure out your next move. So basically emotionless.
So when you play the game poker, part of the trick, of course, is to, and there's another poker expression, not to reveal your hand.
Yeah.
So the players you're playing against mustn't know how good your cards are.
Yeah.
Right? So having a poker face means even if you have really bad cards, you pretend as if you're about to strike it rich. Or, here's a more interesting one, you have bad cards and you make it clear to the other players that you have bad cards. And they think, he's playing a game with us.
He's playing a game.
So they think then you've got good cards. But really, you do have bad cards.
But even when you dealt good cards, you don't jump up and down.
Yes.
You just remain emotionless. Yeah.
You could, depending on how good your poker face is, you could jump up and down and then they'll think, he's got bad cards. He's just trying to perform. Do you have a good poker face? And how important is it in relationships, Muteo, to have a good poker face? Do you have a good poker face at home?
Yeah, but not for that. Because I don't have to worry about what hand I'm playing.
No, but there are times your spouse might say something and you have a particular thought about it. But it's most prudent not to reveal that thought.
Best to walk away.
Does your face betray you?
Best to walk away in those situations.
Amo?
I don't think I have a poker face at all. There's moments when I felt a certain way and people aren't able to read me or to see my face and say, actually, she's going through the most. I don't think I have a poker face.
You don't have a poker face.
Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa.
Good morning, breakfast team. Bongani, this question. I have explained what I do endlessly and people still do not understand what I do. So I study political sciences and work in the diplomatic space. But my function now, so over the years, I've worked in the diplomatic and development space. But now I work at the intersection of, diplomacy and business as well. And so my family and friends honestly don't understand what I do. Half of them think I just attend events. Half of them think I just go and network all the time. They don't fully grasp, no matter how much I can explain what I do. I think it's because it's not the typical sort of career path that one takes when they study politics. Dambisa here from Reimsig.
Dambisa from Reimsig, I completely understand what your predicament might be. We were talking about the inability to explain what it is you do. And what is that people most frequently misunderstand about what you do? Amo?
Mm-hmm.
What's the thing people don't get?
About my job?
Yes.
Reading the map. That you have to be able to read your map from the directions, the places, everything. You have to have that knowledge.
You see how Amo doesn't have a poker face? Because she was busy reading the map when I asked that question. So then she had to figure out what were you asking me? Too busy reading the map.
EWN Traffic.
17 after 8, this Eyewitness News Traffic brought to you by Outsurance. SMS out to 45142 now, and you could save on your car insurance. If you don't, ask them for 500 Rand. See now, Amo? You can read the map.
Well, traveling on the N3 North, we've got an accident reported right near the Geldenes interchange. Delays from the Fort Drucker Road, that's on the N12 exit, so please be on the lookout there. While traveling on the Mamelodi North, we've got a stop and go between Boyson's Road and the Kilani Bends. Peak time delays here. There's also queuing traffic on the N1 South leaving Midrand. This is due to an accident near the Baklu interchange causing delays coming out of New Road. And then heading towards the city of Tshwane, please be on the lookout for roadworks that are taking place on the R21 North approaching Olifantsfontein Road. Please drive with care. More updates coming up. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app. The Outsurance pointsmen know that every car on the road carries a story. There's a car with a couple stealing glances at each other. In a week, their lives will change forever as they exchange their I-do's. The Outsurance pointsmen know it's not just a car in traffic, it's a love story on the move. Every story is different and every story matters. That's why the Outsurance pointsmen have been doing what they do since 2005 in proud partnership with 702. Outsurance is a licensed insurer and FSP.
The Midday Report.
Weekdays,
12 to 1.
Does the ANC believe that this is still a policy that works when it comes to empowerment?
We are not going to be party to a race-based anti-redress, anti-transformation tirade of the Democratic Alliance. For them, they are affirming that the future is white and the future is male, because BBE fights on both fronts, both in terms of gender as well as in terms of race.
Bongani Bingwa is the ANC spokesperson.
Midday Report
With Mandy Wiener.
12 to 1 on 702.
702.
Hey Queens, listen up. It's time for the 5th annual Nomzamo Lighthouse Foundation Empowering Her Seminar and Business Awards. Proudly powered by the Hollywood Foundation, and we're calling on your entries. From township startups to industry-defining pioneers, the Empowering Her Awards celebrate the very best of SA's business minds, and now it's your turn to shine. Are you a woman who's passionate and committed to building a business that's changing your community? Are you looking to inspire other women just like you to dream beyond their limits? Well, this is just the right avenue for you. Visit www.hollywoodfoundation.co.za to submit your entry before 31 October 2025 and make the world your stage. T's and C's apply.
Smart Steve from Momentum, hello.
Steve, you moved to Momentum. Congrats.
Thanks.
It's Tasha. Listen, the fast-paced life in Josie just isn't working for me. I'm migrating to the Cape.
What does that have to do with life insurance?
Well, you know I love a glass or three. And I want to age as graciously as a smooth Merlot, not a box of Car Bordeaux.
Naturally.
And I need my critical illness cover to pair with those chill vibes.
Of course. With Momentum, you get the most comprehensive critical illness cover in the market. You could say it's a full-bodied offering.
I'll toast to that.
Chat to your financial advisor about Momentum's critical illness cover. Momentum, protecting your journey to success. Momentum is an authorized financial services and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
The Johannesburg Philharmonic Orchestra celebrates its 25th anniversary with its Spring Symphony season, opening with the annual joint performance by the Johannesburg and KZN Philharmonic Orchestras. The season runs from 30 October until 20 November, every Thursday at 7:30 p.m. at the Linda Auditorium. Tickets available on Quicket.
Get ready to win up to 30. Get ready to win up to 30,000 Rand cash plus a shot at a JQ J5 Vortex with Swiper by Absa Rewards and 702.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Time to play the Absa Swiper Vault on 702. Up to 30,000 Rand up for grabs. We ask you to WhatsApp hashtag Absa Swiper Rewards to 067 384 0022. When the Absa Swiper Vault opens, the cash will come rolling in. Your job is to shout "swiped" before it closes, and everything announced until then is yours. But if you say swiped after the vault closes, you walk away with nothing. Absa Rewards members, of course, can win an extra 5,000 Rand and go into that draw for a brand new JQ J5 Vortex. We'll also throw in 3 months premium car insurance from Absa Insurance on 702. Your story matters. Absa is an authorized FSP and registered credit provider. T's and C's apply. Today we're playing with Komani in Pretoria. Komani, good morning.
Good morning. How are you, Mr. Bingwa?
Komisani, I beg your pardon. Komisani, I beg your pardon. Maybe I need new glasses. Hey, Komisani. Apologies for that. Apologies for that. You know how it works? You must shout swiped before the vault closes. If you shout swipe after the vault closes, you lose it all. Are you ready to play?
Yes, I'm ready.
Right, here we go. Take a deep breath. KG, let's open the Absa Swiper Vault.
Welcome to Swiper Vault with Absa Rewards. The vault is now open. 7,000 rand. 7,000 rand. 3,000 rand.
Swipe.
4.
Ooh. Do we give that last one? I'm looking at the judges. Do we give that last one? Because you said swiped just as it was reading that last amount, which was 4,000 rand. Was it 4,000? Let's have a listen, KG. Where would the vault have stopped?
4,000 rand. 2,000 rand. 2,000 rand. Thank you for swiping. Swiper Vault now closed.
Swiper Vault now closed. And that means you walk away, Komisani, with a total of 21,000 rand. How do you feel?
Yeah, I'm very happy. Thank you very much.
Now let's see if we can give you more, hey? You want more?
Yes.
You've got to answer this question. Are you an Absa Rewards member?
Yes.
How about another 2,500 rand? Komisani?
Yes.
Do you want more?
Yes, I want more.
You want more?
Yes.
Say yes, I want more.
Yes, I want more.
You want more?
Yeah.
Tell me, have you swiped your Absa Visa card between the 1st of October until now?
Yes, I've swiped.
How about another 2,500 rand?
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Bingwa.
Congratulations. That means, Komisani, just for being an Absa Rewards member, you have won another 5,000 rand, and we're going to place you into the draw for that brand new JQ J5 Vortex, and we'll throw in 3 months premium car insurance from Absa Insurance. And for today, you walk away with 26,000 rand in cash.
Thank you.
Stay on the line. The producers will confirm your details. Catch us again for another chance to win in the Absa Swiper Vault.
702, The World View.
With Adam Gilchrist.
Adam Gilchrist, let's start with that awful story you told us about yesterday. Seeing the visuals on television, absolutely frightening. How much damage has Hurricane Melissa done to Jamaica?
That is the question. And actually, we don't know the answer yet. Nobody does, including the Jamaican Prime Minister, though he said that they're already asking for help from nearby nations because the worst of the storm, this giant Category 5 hurricane, hit Jamaica in the evening and then on into night, and it is still dark in Jamaica. So although we know hundreds of thousands of people are without power, we know there's been some flooding in one part of Jamaica at least. We know that people were reporting the winds are so strong you can't stand up. As one woman put it, water's coming through my roof. I am not okay. The fact is, it needs to be daybreak, and that's not for another 5 or 6 hours, I think, in Jamaica, if I can work it out on my clock. So 5 or 6 hours, we might see the devastation. But at the moment, it's dark, and fingers crossed, it's not as bad as feared.
I saw a video which was really frightening of a shark, essentially as the seawater basically came on land, if that makes any sense. There was a shark that was swimming quite literally over what would normally be streets. Now, Adam, you and I can discuss stories, and we're quite removed from them, but for the people really involved, these stories mean something else entirely. Tell me about Brigitte Macron's daughter dealing with all the things that have been said about her mum.
Yeah, Tiffany, who has talked about Brigitte Macron, the trial of 10 people accused of spreading malicious rumors, basically, about Brigitte Macron has begun. And the daughter was giving evidence on the first day, essentially saying how much it had affected the family, how it was very difficult to be normal, how her mother's quality of life had been badly affected, and indeed her own, and how these salacious gutter gossip rumors had just got too far. And that is why, therefore, Brigitte Macron is pursuing this in court. This is absolutely not the same as Candace Owens, the right-wing influencer in America, in the sense that her defamation case has yet to go to court. This is 8 men and 2 women, a teacher, a computer scientist, an elected official, someone who says they're a medium amongst the 10, who suggests that Brigitte Macron was born a man named Jean-Michel Trogneux, which is her brother's name, that she took the name Brigitte as a transgender woman. Others have also suggested the 24-year age gap between Brigitte Macron and Emmanuel Macron, the French president, make him a paedophile. That sort of stuff is what's been doing the rounds, and you can see why she wants to, well, it's not exactly nip it in the bud, but at least lop it off before it goes any further.
Albert Pike fell, and he rises again.
Yeah. Was it... I'm thinking when we were discussing statues ad nauseum, they were all the rage. 3-4 years ago, was it? Or was it a bit more than that? Statues being pulled down, should they stay up? What did they mean? What was the legacy of the person who was being honored with the statue? So here we have a statue of a US Confederate general that was torn down and set on fire in 2020 during social justice protests, the Black Lives Matter, etc. General Albert Pike statue now is back in place. It's been put back up under the president's executive order called Restoring Truth and Sanity to American History. Whose truth, whose sanity, I suppose. The statue was originally erected in 1901, so it's not as old as you might think. But being a Confederate general, of course, it makes it hugely controversial of what the Confederacy was about in America's Civil War. Albert Pike thought of himself, apparently, as a poet, lawyer, orator, philosopher, and philanthropist. But this is a guy who fought vehemently against freedom for American slaves. He at one stage wanted all free black people expelled from Arkansas, so it would be a white-only state with slaves. And he seems to have been, according to a lot of evidence anyway, a founding member of the Ku Klux Klan. Putting the statue back up is like re-honoring a guy. I mean, I'm sort of a great one for leaving history as it is and explaining it and putting up notices. But to put the statue back up does suggest, therefore, that this is a new legacy, as it were, for a very old and controversial bloke.
If you wanted to know anything more about the Trump presidency, I think look no further than that story. Adam Gilchrist with this morning's Worldview.
EWN Business.
Anglo shopping for new buyers for its steel coal unit. Muteo? All right, we're not hearing you quite that clearly. You may have to shift. Is it on?
Are we good?
There we go.
Okay, there we go. Anglo American is once again courting bidders for its steel-making coal assets after Peabody Energy backed out of a $3.8 billion deal to buy its mine. The mining giant has initiated arbitration proceedings against Peabody seeking compensation for wrongful termination of that billion-dollar contract. Now, an underground explosion at the Moranbah North mine, which is owned by Anglo, earlier this year has posed challenges to Anglo's restructuring plans, impacting its production and also potentially deterring new buyers of that asset. Now, Peabody argued that the incident constituted a material adverse change, allowing them to terminate the deal, while Anglo, of course, disputes the claim, asserting that the incident does not constitute a material change under the sale agreement. But that doesn't matter. The deal is off. They'll have to find a new buyer for that asset.
Baldwin Properties seeing good times. Why?
Interest rate cuts, I think we had 2 this year, but also consumers in feeling that they can afford some of the loans, the bigger loans, the bigger purchases. Baldwin Properties says the company's revenue jumped 44% to 1.2 billion rand, driven by a 51% increase in apartment sales. South Africa's largest sectional title and estate developer says profit increased to 102 million rand, reflecting improved macroeconomic conditions in South Africa.
Your indicators?
The rand stronger at 17 rand 15 cents against the US dollar, 19 rand 93 cents against the euro, and at 22 rand 66 cents against the British pound. Price of gold nearing to that $4,000 mark again at $3,969 an ounce, while platinum is up by more than 0.5% at $1,584. Brent crude now at $63.86 a barrel. That's your morning business. Stephen Grotes with more. this afternoon.
It's a Wednesday. Coming up, another corporate that cares. In the meantime, Sfisa Zulu, what you got?
Thanks, Bongani. Good morning. The EFF and MK party in Parliament have rejected two of the nominees approved for reappointment as commissioners of the Independent Electoral Commission, claiming that other capable candidates were ignored. The National Assembly yesterday approved the nominations of current IEC chairperson Mosotho Mpia, current Commissioner Judge Daya Pillay, and newcomer Joyce Piso for recommendation to the President. While the majority of parties did not vote against the nominations, they were nevertheless critical of the process and not introducing new people to the Electoral Commission. Lindsay Dentlinka reports.
Both the MK party and the EFF have once again cried foul over the 2024 elections, claiming votes were stolen from their parties. With 8 nominations sent by the interviewing panel to Parliament for consideration, the EFF's Tapelo Mogale said current commissioners Mosotho Mpia and Judge Daya Pillay failed to impress.
The panel was clear that these two candidates would not offer any meaningful solutions to address the growing problem of voter apathy and the high number of unregistered eligible voters.
Action SA's Maleba Kobe said her party also did not support the return of Mpia and that the Commission needs younger nominees. ACDP leader Kenneth Meshwe questioned whether the nominees had been properly vetted for impartiality and whether Parliament was merely acting as a rubber stamp.
The process felt rushed. Public input wasn't properly considered.
The UDM's Thandi Nontenja said her party also did not approve of the recycling of commissioners and abstained from voting on the report. Lindsay Dentlinger, Eyewitness News, Parliament.
In Gauteng, the DA is urging parties in the legislature to consider its motion of no confidence in Premier Panyaza Lesufi on its merits and not petty politics. The party wants Lesufi removed from a damning public protector's report, which found the provincial government established the crime prevention wardens with no legal mandate. For the motion to pass, the DA needs support from parties outside the governing coalition. But the MK party has stated that it will not work with the DA, while Action SA and the EFF have demanded apologies as a prerequisite to engaging with them. The DA's Jack Blum.
We're not apologising to any other party. They must consider the motion on its merits. If they feel that Premier Panyaza Lesufi, despite flagrant illegalities and incompetence and corruption, deserves their support, well then they must vote against it. And if they think he needs to be removed, well then they must vote for it. It's as simple as that.
Please note the following story contains graphic details. The NPA has welcomed the life sentence handed down to a 47-year-old man from Tsakani on the East Rand for raping and impregnating a 13-year-old cancer patient. The Tsakani Regional Court yesterday heard that the assault took place between December 2015 and April 2016 while the child visited her grandmother's home. During the trial, it emerged that the man, who is a family friend and a neighbor, would call the child to his house, rape her, and threaten to kill her if she told anyone. The man's case was provisionally withdrawn in November 2016 but was placed back on the court's roll in 2020. Gauteng NPA spokesperson Lumka Mahanjana says the man also infected the child with HIV.
This was discovered when the child had gone to the doctor for her regular cancer treatment, when the doctor discovered that the minor was already 6 months pregnant and had contracted HIV. In court, this sentence demonstrates the NPA's commitment to prosecuting cases of gender-based violence.
And in France, senators are expected to back a bill defining rape as any non-consensual sexual act. This makes the country the first European country to pass a consent-based law. The final vote comes after members of the lower house approved the bill, paving the way for its adoption by Senate. Advocacy groups have welcomed the reform while stressing it must be accompanied by deeper societal changes. A cloudy day in store for Gauteng with afternoon thunder showers expected. The temperatures will peak at highs between 24 and 25 degrees.
And in the traffic, we've got delays in Tembisa along the R21 North. This is approaching Olifantsfontein Road. Roadworks are taking place along that route. Please be on the lookout there. While traveling on the N1 South in the city of Tshwane, we've got an accident reported right after the Proof Plus interchange causing delays.
The top story this hour, the EFF and MK party in Parliament have rejected two of the nominees approved for reappointments as commissioners of the IEC.
Work continues on the N17 Tonk meter section in the city of Ekurhuleni. Crews are milling and resurfacing more than 30 kilometers of road using advanced methods that recycle existing material for a cost-effective and sustainable upgrade. So far, over 18,000 tons of asphalt have been placed, and with more than 158 million rand set aside for small businesses, the project is boosting local jobs and skills too. Drive cautiously. Better roads are on the way. Sunrail, an agency of the Department of Transport.
Insurance claims are stressful enough. Fortunately, with OUTsurance Business Insurance, when you claim, your excess is a fixed amount, not a percentage of the claim. For medical specialities like dental, physiotherapy, surgical, and other industries, OUTsurance Business Insurance are trusted experts in insuring your business. Get more out of your business insurance. Get a quick and easy quote today. Call 08600 60,000 or visit outsurance.co.za. A licensed insurer and FSP. T's, C's, and information online.
Sir, ma'am, may I take your order?
Yeah, let me get the New York cut, medium rare, truffle fries on the side, and the lady'll have the salmon. Grilled, not poached. 2 dirty martinis. Real dirty.
Leafy, what's with the voice?
Oh, I came over all Tony Soprano.
Get into character on a city break with Premier Hotels and Resorts. Stay Friday and Saturday and get Sunday night for free. Book now at premierhotels.co.za.
The Money Show.
Weekday evenings at 6.
On the next Money Show, Nikki Bush joins us as your shapeshifter, one of the most sought-after speakers, an author, a media personality, had a very interesting career path. Graham Codrington, the futurist and partner at Tomorrow Today, the latest from the world of business unusual, and your consumer ninja, Wendy Nola, ready to fight for your consumer rights. All of that and the top business news of the day.
The Money Show
on 702. Let's walk the talk.
The Money Show with Stephen Grootes is brought to you by Absa Corporate and Investment Banking, proud sponsor of the Absa Africa Financial Markets Index 2025. The insights to guide you through Africa's financial landscapes are waiting for you. Absa is an authorized FSP and a registered credit provider. T's and C's apply.
702.
WhatsApp Bongani on 072
702 1702.
Yo, Bongani, you know, when you talk about people not understanding what you do. So I'm an accounts manager. I work for a travel management company, right? We do travel arrangements for corporate, government, the works. So everybody, including my family and friends, thinks that I sit behind the desk every day, building packages and there is nothing that annoys me, like getting a call, we want to go somewhere, can you book for us? Like, I don't know how to explain this all the time to them that, look, guys, I don't do packages. I don't build packages. I work for a TMC. I am not a package builder. Go check bookings.com. Go check Airbnb.
Hi, Bongani. My name is Lamin Centurion. So I'm a mining engineer. So I get all sorts of questions from, so it's like Minecraft, to people thinking I spend my whole day swinging pickaxe underground, to people bring all type of rocks that they got scammed with or they found, and they're asking me where to sell them, what they are, how much they are. And yeah, it's very difficult for me to explain to people what I do on the day. Or if I do explain, they don't, I do a lot of spreadsheets and risk assessments and calculations. I even design holes at times. So yeah, that's the life of being a mining engineer. People even ask me if I can find a gold nugget for them and bring it at family gatherings.
It reminds me, a friend of mine is quite a senior person, quite a senior executive in investment banking. So one weekend, an aunt of hers came to visit. And I mean, she's in one of the top investment banks in the country. She works. And the aunt came to visit, and it was a Saturday. And the aunt says, "Oh, aren't you going to work today?" And she looks at the aunt confused. And she says, "No, but bank's open until 11 on a Saturday." And she thought, I don't have the ovaries to explain.
EWN Sport.
Tell you what, Cindy Paluta, 3 hours from now, we will not be explaining what it is the Protea women do for a living. Hey?
Sorry, I don't have control of my mic. Oh, wait, because, so there's a very long story, guys. This is the beauty of live radio. This is how you know we are human and not AI. Our jobs haven't been taken because the mics have been switched around the studio and KG is in control of me now.
Yes.
So KG's not used to being in control of me now, so he forgot to, well, he didn't have to start the clock. He had to push my button, KG.
Listen, if nothing else, what you've just confirmed is that KG is a real person.
Real.
People always ask, why does KG never say anything? It's
Right.
part of the mystery.
And
It's
can
kind of like Howard's mom in, what's that series? Big Bang Theory.
Yes. But do you know what I love about KG? He doesn't say a lot, but every day when if I chirp something about soccer or sport or something, I look over to the corner because his face gives me the reaction I'm looking for. Yeah.
There's a look.
Yeah, especially when I get to the Orlando Pirates stuff, he just laughs because he cracks a joke. Because sometimes Bongani's looking down, he's reading, etc. But KG's always listening. Right. So KG, we're 3 hours away from the Proteas Women's Cricket World Cup semi-final with England. The Proteas lost to England by 10 wickets in their opening game of the tournament. Captain Laura Wolfart.
So I think most of our discussions leading up to tomorrow have just been about making sure that we're in the right mental state to play the game, really believing in our preparation, really trusting in our skills and what we've done before. We know as a group that we have a really talented, and that if we just stay calm out there tomorrow, we have a really good chance of winning. I think they're under a lot of pressure as well. Everyone is in a semi-final. So yeah, I think it's whoever is able to handle that the best.
First ball scheduled to be bowled at 11:30. The Proteas men thrashed Pakistan by 55 runs in a first T20. Proteas posted 194 for 9. Hendricks with 60. Player of the match, Corbin Bosch, made 36 from 22 and took 4 wickets. George Linde took 3. In live action, New Zealand 118 for 5, needing a further 58 from 22 to beat England in the second ODI and win the series with a game to spare. A little later this morning, India playing Australia in a first T20. Banyana qualified for WAFCON next year. Tevi Kgatlana scored in the 91st minute last night in a 1-0 win over DR Congo. They got a 2-1 aggregate win. Carling Knockout Cup action tonight. Maruma Goland hosts Stellenbosch. Last night, Orlando Pirates beat the defending champions Magesi 2-1 with second half goals from Maremi and Makopa. Pirates coach Abdeslam Wadu.
We managed to have a lot of chances. At the halftime, we could have a lead with 5 goals. It's a positive point, so I'd like to congratulate my boys for that. It was important to take this victory and to go through the next stage.
League Cup action tonight. Arsenal host Brighton, Liverpool against Crystal Palace, Manchester City away at Swansea, Chelsea take on Wolves, and Newcastle host Spurs. Springbok open their end-of-year tour against Japan on Saturday. Prop Zach Porton makes his debut. Springbok coach Rassie Rasmus on Andre Esthuizen being included.
He's covering both flank and centre for us, so maybe just in the moment that when we put the team list out, we just put him there. So I don't think there's something big to explain there. I think everybody knows how we're trying to work with him. I do think with him covering both centre and loose forward, he'll probably get more in match day 23.
Kickoff on Saturday is 6:10. And in tennis, the world number 1 Carlos Alcaraz out the Paris Masters in the round of 32. He was beaten by Cameron Norrie, who won the match 4-6, 6-3 and 6-4.
That was so unexpected. I almost asked you an hour ago. So was it a knockout? I mean, does he come back?
Because you forget.
Tennis.
Forget that in tennis, you're out.
You're out.
Until it's that ATP tour thing at the end of the year, right? But everything is when you're out, you're out. So also, just to remind listeners that if you don't believe that what we're saying is absolutely true about what goes on behind the scenes, we are streaming it live on YouTube as well. We're not AI robots. Cindy Polita, Eyewitness News Sport.
EWN Traffic.
And an equally real Amo Ramila is here to wrap up this morning's traffic. Amo?
On the real Bongani, we've got heavy delays on the N1 South. This is in the city of Tshwane due to that accident coming out of the Proof Plus interchange is causing delays. The N4 West is also backed up as a result from Timboti Avenue. If you're traveling on the N3 North, bumper-to-bumper traffic between Vincent Chabalala Road and the Baku interchange, and that's due to those roadworks along this route. There's also queuing traffic along the M1 North. In fact, a stop and go between Boysons and the Kilani Bends due to peak time delays. I'll have more updates for you at the top of the hour. Stay tuned.
There's more EWN on air, online, and on the EWN app.
At Auto & General, we understand your business is built on more than just vehicles. It's your stock, tools and equipment, and the premises where you work. Auto & General Business Insurance is designed for businesses like yours, protecting your assets against fire, theft, storms, and other unexpected events. To protect your livelihood, visit autogen.co.za and get an obligation-free business insurance quote. Auto & General, never not there. Auto & General is a licensed non-life insurer and FSP. T's and C's online.
This is Kyle's mom, entertaining the guests.
My son and I have been taking some dancing lessons. Watch and this. A 1 and a 2. Oopsies.
And this is Kyle's mom with 2 months free YouTube Premium, plus 5 gigs free YouTube data, plus 30 gigs once off.
It's showtime! With ad-free YouTube Premium. Kyle, hand out the logins, my boy. You get a password. You get
Extra
a password.
your summer with the Vodacom Red Plan and get extra Red rewards plus benefits on the VodaPay app when you sign up or upgrade, online and in store. T's and C's apply. Further together, Vodacom.
To celebrate 25 years of helping you live the Premier life, FNB Premier is giving you a chance to win a 14-day European tour experience and other cool monthly prizes. Open any FNB Premier account from September to 31 December 2025. Switch your salary, swipe or tap a minimum of 2,000 Rand per month for 3 months straight. Spend and win with FNB Premier. FNB, help changes everything. TCs and competition rules apply. FNB, a division of First Rand Bank Limited, an authorized financial services and credit provider.
Coming up
on the Clement Manyatela Show
on 702.
Clement Manyatela coming to you live from our Santon studios this morning. You're not. This is not Westbury.
It's not. No, it is not.
Aren't you meant to be in Westbury?
We were, but the rain.
I saw all those
disappointed
promos.
us. Yeah.
Saying, hi, the Clement Manyatela Show.
Yeah.
We'll be coming to you live.
But
from Westbury.
We'll go next week. So we cancelled late yesterday because there was 65% or 70% chance of rain today. So we've decided to move it to next week.
In the morning.
Say again?
In the morning. The rain was likely to be in the morning.
Today, we were told the weather forecast today was 60% chance of rain. So we didn't want to take chances because when you're doing an OB and it's raining, there's problems with the quality of the line. So,
all right, so what's on the show?
On the show today, we are going to have a conversation about what's been happening at the parliamentary inquiry. I want to ask the listeners if they've been noticing what I've been noticing, how members of parliament are. I don't know if you're picking up certain politicians ask certain witnesses certain questions in a particular way. Have you picked that up? Okay.
And you could even see the internal dynamics of the ANC
you can see
at play.
that, yes. Even how the DA questions the other witnesses. You can tell what posture they've taken, but they don't want to be too overt about it. Julius Malema also being like, when does he participate? When doesn't he participate? When he's his father figure?
Well, how rough was he on Kasel Matal?
He wasn't there.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And the last time he told us that's my father figure. So anyway, we're going to talk about that on the open line. And then at 10 o'clock, we take you live to the Madlanga Commission because today we're going to be hearing details of the arrest of Katie Molefe in July this year. Was there interference just like there was last year when he was arrested? We'll find out. At 11 o'clock on our Listener's Choice feature, we're going to revisit a conversation we've had several times. You've had this conversation yourself, Bongani, about deputy ministers. What Kasel Matale said yesterday, 2.2 million Rand a year. That's how much we pay these guys. And what do they do? So we'll have a conversation about that. And then we wrap up the show at 11:30 with the sharing space.
Right, Kevin
I want to be a
Manyatela
deputy minister.
Deputy Minister Manyatela between 9 and 12.
Access to the internet is vital for any country to grow. That's why the recent 6.75 billion Rand digital infrastructure deal that Standard Bank Corporate and Investment Banking facilitated between Telkom and an Actors-led consortium is so transformational for South Africa. It unlocks growth and provides internet access to underserved communities who will now have access to the internet for the very first time. Search CIB Stories of Impact to watch the full story.
Standard Bank is an authorized FSP and registered credit provider. T's and supply.
Stamina Grow is a 5-in-1 supplement with amino acids, antioxidants, B vitamins, and other essential minerals and vitamins to help promote energy, well-being, and immune defense and mental vitality. Stamina Grow, 22 years of supporting Mzansi, ranks amongst the top 5 performing multivitamin brands in South Africa. Stamina Grow. Grow for it.
What do partners of the Gates Foundation do when facing the world's toughest challenges? They keep going. From discovering a plastic drape that helps detect excessive postpartum bleeding faster, to developing better bed nets to kill malaria-carrying mosquitoes, to researching an RSV vaccine that could save hundreds of thousands of children. For every problem, there are people who prove that progress is possible. The Gates Foundation, partners of human potential. Learn more at gatesfoundation.org/keep going.
Business Outsurance are experts in business insurance for butcheries, restaurants, beauty salons, and more. Dankie is Gert.
I definitely have peace of mind that business outsurance is protecting our business. I do think business outsurance are the best insurance company out there, and they gave us the best quotes.
Switch to Business Outsurance and you could get a massive 20% discount on your business insurance premium. Visit outsurance.co.za. Switch and save today. Licensed insurer and FSP. TCs and information online.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa
on 702.
Let's walk the talk.
Wednesdays, I always boast, are my favorite day of the week because we put a spotlight on brands and companies that are doing their bit to make a difference in the society, walking the talk, as it were. So it's time for another edition of Corporates That Care. Today, we've got Kellanova's General Manager and Executive Director, Philip Neiman, who is going to share insights about their experience. A very good morning to you, Philip, and welcome to 702 Breakfast.
Thank you, Bongani, and good morning to you and good morning to your listeners, and thank you for having me.
So why is Kellanova a corporate that cares?
Bongani, very good question. And I think if we look at our situation in the country, there are so many needs. So the one thing that we've realized that every day there are many, many South African children that goes to school without eating any breakfast.
Before you go on, I'm just going to ask you to come a little closer to that microphone so we can hear you better.
Sure. Is that better?
That's much better.
Right. So we identified a need in terms of, for children to reach their full potential, they need to go to school and have something in their stomach. I think it's well known that you just can't teach a hungry child. And that's the area that we've identified, and that's the area that we've been focusing on for more than 11 years now.
So just for context, of course, Kellanova is the new brand name, but more familiarly, at least in the past, as Kellogg's. Am I correct?
Yes
Formerly
and no.
Kellogg's.
Yes and no. Kellanova is the new company name. Our brands are still known as Kellogg's, be it Kellogg's Cornflakes, be it Kellogg's Cocoa Pops, be it Kellogg's Frosties.
Talking of which, why did we stop calling it Post Toasties?
What we did was, Post Toasties is a process description. So that's a process that we take the corn through, and we decided to call it more in terms of what's inside the product, hence renaming it Cornflakes.
Cornflakes. All right. But I mean, you've been interested in the business of food, certainly in the business of feeding. That's your core function. Tell me about the Better Days promise.
Right. So in 2014, we identified the opportunity to do something within the communities in which you operate. And as I mentioned, you can't teach a child that's hungry at school. Stats SA shows that 21% of households are food insecure in South Africa. That number goes up to over 28% when you look at children that are food insecure. Now, for a child to arrive at school on an empty stomach and to try and focus and have the energy levels, it just doesn't work. So we then decided to start with our Better Days promise, which has got 4 pillars, but the one that we're talking about today is hunger alleviation, and that's where the food feeding program started for us.
I mean, this school feeding scheme, as you say, has been on the go since 2014. So here we are 11 years later. What would you say the impact of the program has been, and have you been able to measure or track what it's achieved?
Because we're multinational, we measure everything and we get audited and the numbers get verified. So up until today, we've provided 62 million meals to school children.
Wow.
On a daily basis, Bongani, we provide 35,000 meals on every school day to children in Gauteng, KwaZulu-Natal and the Eastern Cape.
That's extraordinary.
I believe it is.
And what I like about it is that it's more than just sort of a meal donation program. There are other aspects to it, including people who are able to volunteer. You mentioned families and the support you can provide them.
Yes. So last year we also started with school gardens, and that is planting vegetables at schools. And in terms of the schools in Gauteng that we targeted, 4,600 children plus their families have benefited out of that. Over the last 14 months, we have harvested 285,000 kilograms of vegetables that is used in lunchtime programs at schools, but also kids take it to home and it feeds the family at the end of the day. Now, in terms of volunteering, our employees volunteer their time And over the last year, they volunteered 1,201 hours in terms of food packing, be it Mandela Day or the World Day or the Better Days Food Festival.
It's easy to talk, I suppose, of numbers, and one can get lost in, the millions and the thousands of hours and meals and so on. Is there a story that stands out for you in terms of the impact of your program?
Well, and I'm going to quote a recent story. So the team went down to Kuberge about a week or two ago, and we were handing out food parcels.
Yeah.
So besides the breakfast that we provide, we also do food parcels to school. And the principal came to us and said, on the day that food parcels are handed out, the parents come to school to make sure that that food parcel get home to feed the entire family for a week.
Gosh.
Yes.
That's the impact.
Yes.
Goodness me. And collaboration is so key when it comes to this kind of work, because no single entity or corporate can do it alone. And you've partnered with a couple of other charities to make sure you can do as much as you can.
Yes, and we believe that you've got to have trusted partners. You've got to be able to build a relationship, and that's what we've done over the number of years. And our charity partners are Food Forward South Africa, as well as Rise Against Hunger. And they support us in terms of alleviating hunger across the communities and the schools in which we operate.
So how would you say Better Days fits into Kellenova's broader social responsibility and impact initiatives?
Well, Kellenova is more than just a food company. So we believe that we do have a responsibility, and that's what Better Days does. It's about providing a place for everybody at the table and for everybody to be fed and to be heard.
One of the reasons I was quite specific about focusing on who you are as a brand is so that people can make connections with the products that they buy, that you make. And so as people who consume your products are listening to us, even as we speak, how can the ordinary Kellenova customer get involved to support these initiatives?
Well, first of all, buying a product. The initiative that we launched, we don't sell the product. So there's no commercial gain other than getting exposure for what we do from a brand point of view. So,
sure, but can we buy something? Can we donate something? Is there a portion that goes towards assisting this initiative?
No, the money that we spend on Better Days comes out of our profit line. And Bongani, we've been doing it since 2014. And even in the years that we didn't have great profit, where we didn't meet our targets, we continued with the program. So we've never cut back in terms of what we were doing. We've never reached out to either our consumers or shoppers to ask them to contribute. It purely comes out of our shareholders' money to support this program.
And that's all the more reason to buy your products on an everyday basis.
That is one very good reason. Another good reason is that we've got excellent products out in the market.
Snap, crackle, pop. Appreciate your time. Philip Neiman is the Executive Director of Kellenova.
702 podcasts are on 702.co.za.
And with that, our time is up. We'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning. The Clement Manyatela Show starts now.
This is EWN.
Good morning, I'm Sfiso Zulu. We begin in the capital where community members have gathered outside the Mamelodi Magistrates Court where a 38-year-old suspect is expected to make his first appearance in connection with the murder of two women. Ballistics and Siamo Marumacha were shot on Sunday morning after end of the road by neighbors. Khomotso Modise reports.
It's alleged by the Muramacha family and community